Hello, I'm Dan McDowell, longtime professional broadcaster. Why subscribe to our Patreon podcast? Well, perhaps you support our struggle to get out from under the oppressive thumb of the man. Or, objectively, if you sign up at patreon.com/thedumbzone, you will get the 2 episodes per week that are available on all podcast platforms, like this one, plus an additional 2 episodes each week that are exclusive to Patreon. So subscribing on Patreon gets you 4 episodes per week. Oh my, what a bargain. Now, on to today's program.
No punch.
Punt goes into the end zone. Cowboys back on offense when we come back to Arizona. It's DiNucci time. So punt time for Brian Anger.
All right. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Gone but not forgotten. As evidenced by every D-bag in Dallas wearing a hat. It says Dallas upside down.
Where is he now?
Probably just slinging caps.
They got those hats for Fort Worth now.
Really? Same company?
Saw them last night.
True brand. All right, well, this is the Dumb Zone. Dan is out again today. We'll provide an update on his status here in a minute.
He's with the Bills.
It's Monday,
Behind Trubisky?
August 26th. He's a heavy. Show 223. We're at Dan's house, high atop his garage. He is not here. No one is here. Fam is gone.
Isn't it great?
I mean, I don't really mingle with the common area too much for various reasons, so...
If I want to heat my food or get some water...
Yeah, it's unlikely that you're going to step on a landmine.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Yeah, he could.
This used to just be my life.
I know. TC used to just house sit. So filling in for Dan today, it's the Dirtbag Culture Hour.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Greetings.
The twosome that was robbed of their spot
Boy, were we.
on the DFW airwaves.
Coveted 2 to 4 Saturdays.
Unless SMU play or something. Well, not SMU. We're SMU.
UNC.
Yeah, not a lot of shows out there with a bigger rep, reach, audience interest than UNT football, so
Sorry, Blake.
hard to get to.
He's right.
It was hard to split the audience between people who like Shen Yun, 5,000 years of beautiful Chinese dance, and the UNT secondary.
Isn't there some weird story with Shin Yin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go back and listen to y'all's episode.
It's an anti-communist ploy.
I just remember
It's a religious cult.
it was being advertised all over Fort Worth.
And,
Yeah, it's
and everywhere.
Because they've got the cult money.
So yes, Blake is here with me, making sure that we do the right things. And then, Jorts.
You do that stuff on the fly, all the technical production stuff. That's amazing. You're like DJ Lethal.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
You know who DJ Lethal is, Blake?
No.
Only the DJ for the 2 biggest musical groups that ever.
I only know the one.
Who would
He's
be?
also in House of Pain.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, who was the guy who almost died with Travis Barker? DJ AM?
He did
And then
die.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did die.
And then he
But
died.
not with Travis Barker.
Oh, he died after. Like, they both lived, and then DJ AM
Yeah.
went
They
down.
both survived the plane crash,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think DJ AM might have succumbed to, I don't want to.
Addiction.
I need facts.
I'll look up how
But I
DJ
think it might,
died.
and I think it might have been due to some of the pain.
You're going to want to
Yes,
leave
I
that
think
wherever you
that's-
put it,
Yeah.
because it'll make a lot
Yeah,
of
put
noise.
that back up there.
Okay.
And if you could, too,
What
friend.
do you want me to do?
Put your mic up a little bit.
2 audio
Yeah.
professionals, and we're having to...
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Not head mics.
Love
Not
it.
since I toured with Garth Brooks.
That's the first time I ever saw a head mic, was Garth
Yeah.
Brooks Central Park.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a teacher of young children, and she went to see like a vocal specialist who's like, "Yeah, we see teachers in here all the time. It fucks up your vocals." So his solution was get a head mic, a little like hip speaker. Could you imagine,
Dude, if
going
I-
through
Oh, no.
school with your teacher fucking voice of godding you the whole
No,
time?
No.
Listen.
We probably would have planned to beat him up.
Yeah, I don't think that teacher's making it through semester 1. I mean, dude,
it's like
this is
4-year-olds.
coming from me, a guy, and I didn't really participate in this, and I want to be clear about that, but our janitor in high school had the voice box.
How how did you ever not make fun of him?
Yeah, because everybody else had it covered.
Yeah.
I was happy to just
Sweet boy in elementary school.
just watch.
Poor guy.
This was junior high at least. No, it was high. It was high school. Yeah, he had the full. And this is also whenever we were promoting our band a lot, which required putting up
5 Minute Stranger?
Yeah. I had 5 more of our band listings sent to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw those.
Somebody has like a maybe it's newspaper.org something. There's a searchable archive that you can pay for, but we had to put up a lot of flyers, Blake.
Yeah.
And if I could tell you, there's one thing a janitor does not want. It's you putting up 200 flyers in unauthorized locations that he then has to clean up, because those flyers never stay up more than 10 minutes.
No.
Everyone just runs.
I gotta trash these flyers.
Yeah, and then he's like, nah,
I gotta trash these flyers.
Dan's not that good anyway.
Yeah, AM was a drug overdose. A shocking amount of different kinds of drugs.
Now, it's a sad bit, because you would think if you almost die in a plane crash, you would take this new lease on life approach, but I think it probably messes you up so bad that that's not always the outcome that it produces.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if it's the pain, it's the pain, you know?
Yeah, that's part of it too. So typically here, and Dan should be back tomorrow. The update we have on him is he might be kind of cranky, because
I'm not as confident as you are.
I think we're about 6 hours delayed right now.
Yeah.
And our current sit rep has him leaving the East Coast at 8 p.m. tonight. Now,
And he's already at the airport. It's noon now.
he's at the airport.
And he's sitting in an airport right now, and he doesn't have a hope of getting on a plane. Best case.
Yeah, and
8 hours.
I said to him this morning, I was like, dude, this is the worst time for when you don't drink. Because if there's ever a time that it's appropriate to just go for it,
Right.
there's nothing to do.
Right.
And then you get on an airplane, what could go wrong there? So, yeah,
That motherfucker!
yeah, it's not real. So we'll see what happens with Dan tomorrow.
Is he doing that crazy charade where, well, you guys all were doing it, where you stay on Texas time the entire time you're somewhere?
Yeah, it's not a bit.
I wasn't.
I know it's not a bit. That's why I want to dig deeper.
I wasn't doing it whenever we
It drove
talked.
me crazy.
When we talked, I didn't do it until I realized that every time he would have to ask me, so I would say 10/noon. But I had to do it as far as my waking and going to bed time, for the most part, because if we have to be doing the show at noon, which is 10 out there, then I'm not going to sleep until,
Of course.
like, it was
Of
just better
course.
that way. But he literally changes his phone to where it won't change the time. Like, he's figured that out.
I understand the utility of it, but
Yeah.
it seemed more hardcore than like the Marines.
Yeah. He'll do that on you. He eats the same thing for every meal. So typically this is where we do a weekend check. And I have quite a bit for my weekend, but I'm going to give you two the forum.
Well, then let me start, because I got nothing.
Okay.
Because I'm still playing catch up from vacation.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that this weekend too. Laundry in particular.
But it just seems like recovery time for everything takes longer the older you get.
There's no doubt.
And I'm still catching up on, God forbid I get any help with the yard
Email.
or laundry. Yeah,
Yeah.
cleaning up, email. Yeah.
I did probably 8 loads of laundry this weekend. Easily.
It never ends, guys.
Yeah. Well,
Laundry.
You have a couple kids.
Oh, boy.
Dude,
Can't imagine.
I did
Cloth
the most
diapers.
spectrum-y thing I've done in a long
Onesies.
time. Saturday, I'll go back to you, Blake, but Saturday my wife went out to dinner, and I was just with Carter. My mom had Nora, and Carter went to bed. He goes to bed pretty early. And I'd started this project earlier in the day when I think he was down and I just had Nora. Their clothing drawers drive me crazy. So I matched all my daughter's socks.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like 25, 30 pair of them. And the ones that didn't have matches because all of her laundry was done, I got a big Ziploc bag and I put them in there and put them in the back.
Are you
And I
saying
said, from now on, if we can't find the match, we throw it out.
Are you saying that the person that put them in there will just throw them in like one at a time?
I might be. Like, they'll find that there's two, and then they just put them in there. Or they'll open them up, and sometime... Listen, honestly, I don't really know the input. I just know the output drives me insane. And so I did that. That was a big Saturday activity for me.
That would drive me insane.
I don't think it's intentional, but I don't really understand how else it ends up that way.
I got to match socks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you do it like for your family when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the roll thing. It's like the easiest thing to fold.
Sure.
You know? So it's
kind of one way.
I don't mind doing those kinds
Did
of
either of you
things.
guys do that? Because I had this memory this weekend of just like sitting there, my mom dumping an entire basket of socks and being like, hey, it's matching game.
Yeah, it's Sunday night. Mighty Ducks 2 is on. I'm just going to sit here and do this
Dude,
for 2 hours.
exact
That's a
same experience.
Yeah.
You can
Sunday
put a
night
movie
thing.
on and
It
match
helps.
your whole family's sock collection.
It helps solve the Sunday scaries.
Yeah, before you knew it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
It's weird. You?
Matching socks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like for your family? Growing up? That was like a common chore for us.
No, not like that. That was more my dad's game.
Because that's one of those things where I was sitting there doing it thinking, I remember growing up doing this and hating it. But now when I do it, I'm not sure if I like it because of nostalgia or what, but
Something changes whenever you're doing it for yourself or like for your family.
that's
Like,
definitely
yeah.
true. But I found myself thinking, I
I
wonder
liked mowing the lawn a lot more once it wasn't my dad making me mow his lawn.
for sure.
The equivalent of building your home on the prairie,
Yeah.
folding the socks.
And also, if you're doing it for yourself, you don't have a super who's just like checking in on the QC, like, hey, what's that bathroom? Did you say you cleaned it?
Yeah, if you're doing the same task, but if you're doing it for yourself versus someone else, it's just wildly different. So much more satisfying whenever you decided, you know what, I'd feel accomplished if all these socks were matched.
Yeah.
I just have all these same socks,
So it's easy.
but at some point, I don't want to say who, but someone bought me these kinds of socks, but with like a slightly longer ankle thing, and so now I just every time I pick 3 out because
Pretty
then
good
I kn-
odds. Yeah.
then I
Or no,
know
100%,
well,
yeah.
it has to be the 2 of the 3 will be the same.
But kids socks are the ones that
Yes, yeah, they've all got a bunch of fucking patterns.
They're
Yeah.
so small.
They're
are
small.
My wife found a rogue sock this weekend that wasn't hers, and it wasn't mine, but it was bigger than my foot. It was too big for my foot.
Boy,
So I was able to turn the table for a second.
yeah.
Well, you have a
It's a good thing it was a big sock.
yeah,
you have a
right, I know.
a monster in here.
Small sock, you're fucked.
Yeah, very quickly she was like, "This is making me upset." But not the discussion we were having, but the fact that there was
It
a
should.
rogue sock that belonged to neither of us.
You have in-unit laundry at your apartment?
yeah,
Okay.
we do.
So,
There's no
because if
telling
it was like
laundromat type.
yeah,
she's in the business of vintage clothes now and then trading between her friends,
and they'll throw in a sock.
and I'm like, that's got to be from one of your friends who
Dave. Dave's a big motherfucker.
yeah,
It's got-
dated a huge guy.
So do you feel caught up now?
Yeah, but like I feel crappy. It's like I worked harder on the weekend than I did during the week.
I said that to him yesterday, TC. Like, it was up until basically yesterday afternoon that I was like, all right, homeostasis has been achieved.
Yeah,
Everything is clean.
everything
The
back in
socks
order.
are matched.
Yeah. No, my thing from the weekend was we had a birthday party to go to, and it was a swimming ordeal.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Tatum with a Y,
No,
Taytum.
Danger zone.
we're just gonna have to share the world with these people our whole fucking lives.
Yeah.
They'll probably
This is
be
fucking
be
bullshit.
your boss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to curse? I was wondering. I know.
You just talk how you would normally talk.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Birthday party started at 1:00
Saturday.
Sunday.
Okay.
I
Outside?
feel like that's prime time nap time.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. TC's daughter's last birthday was morning, and I loved it.
I'm coming around.
Because I had a hard out, too, for the second kid's nap. You know?
When we were very early in the birthday party game, the first one we went to was at like 10 a.m. I was like, what the hell is this? What
Yeah.
are we doing? But now I see
Yeah,
it.
being fully wrapped up by nap time.
10 or like 3.
Yeah.
We had a 9 a.m. a couple weeks ago.
I mean, on the front end, you hate it, but
Yeah.
you're very thankful on the way home at 11.
Yeah.
I'm still living this things get rolling about 10, 11 life, guys, and I'm starting to feel a bit guilty of it because at 43 years old, I'm like, man, I should be doing stuff at 8.
But like, you work in the studio
But,
at night, though.
yeah, it's a night game.
Well, yeah, what time are you going to bed?
Yeah, 12 to 1. getting up at 8, but
Love it.
I'm just not up and at 'em at 8, 9.
Is it the
Getting
same on the
getting up at
weekend?
9. Yeah, kind of.
Just normal? But I'm saying like it's not like you sleep till 2 on the weekend.
No, there'll be an occasional one of those every now and then.
Maybe this Saturday?
Which is incredible. Yeah, this coming Saturday, hopefully. I don't know, though. I have to play the drums tomorrow at 9 a.m. Like, I don't want to hear anything that loud before whatever.
Where?
Rock o'clock in the studio.
Oh, okay.
It's like a session.
Might as well just stay up.
Okay.
Country people, they like,
They like to start early.
it's a conservative business model in the country music world.
Okay.
They start around the time the cock crows.
8:30 load-in.
The what?
Around the time the cock crows.
That's
when
right,
That's when they get to picking.
How is the new Patriot Mobile theme coming?
Beautiful. It's incredible. You guys should hear the second verse. Really lean into.
They get into the plans.
Yeah.
They've hooked you.
Yeah, they have. Now that you know this is going to be the most beneficial cell provider you've ever experienced.
So
It's a feature from Dan Bongino.
didn't you didn't you tell us that you had
I too went to a celebration of life yesterday at 1 p.m. It wasn't a birthday party, it was a going away party for one of my wife's coworkers, and it was at a drag brunch.
Okay.
I did one of those things, and it's if anybody's familiar with Fort Worth, is on the sketchy west side of Fort Worth.
Speaking of Patriot Mobile.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know the bad traffic circle, the huge one?
Yeah.
It's like the Indy 500
Yeah,
right there.
of course.
Altamira on the west side.
Of course.
It's a great establishment called the Halo that is there, which is a queer bar. And one of my wife's coworkers was having a going away party, so we went to the drag brunch, and it was fun. There were protesters outside, and I was screamed at by a guy who's talking about burning, but it's 102 degrees, and he is in a full suit.
It's like you're a step ahead.
My brother,
Top of mind for him.
Yeah, but he told me that I was grooming, and I just screamed, "It's 21 and up!"
Yeah.
So there's no children involved in these activities.
That is confusing. You would like to see them put in just a little more work.
Like only go to the ones with kids.
Yeah.
Or, protest whatever you want to protest, but it's just, you're wasting everyone's time if it's something. If Jordan can brush it off that easy,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's just
Everybody's
fucking
brushing
lazy.
it off.
How was the food?
I mean, the guy who the party was for mooned them, and I think it was a
Nice.
full spread. Yeah. So, and it was
Mooning.
yeah, mooning. Still around.
Who knew that was still around?
Yeah, I feel like it's taken a real cultural nosedive.
He'd call it butt stuff. This guy.
Okay.
But
I think when you open too, it's no longer a moon.
right.
yeah.
I was expecting kind of like, I don't want to
Michael
call any
Jackson.
particular congregation out. I was expecting seeing like a more current, maybe modern look, but these people it was straight like old school. The main guy had a baggy suit. The children kind of had like bowl haircuts and looked like their names were Seth, and that they would do their mother's bidding. Yes,
Time out.
mama.
Oh, you're
You know,
talking about them. Okay.
like,
I
that's
thought
a-
you said it like you were saying inside of the
No.
protest.
No,
It was like,
the protesters.
I'm like the children.
No.
I don't like this.
Like a 19-year-old who'd go and kill for mama.
You thought the protesters would be on the cutting edge?
I thought they'd maybe look a little bit more like...
Nah, because I don't think
I
like
think kind of a defining part of their whole thing is being stuck in a while ago.
Yeah, but
You know what I
know
mean,
what his
without
point is though.
saying
Some of the the mega
too much.
churches,
Yeah.
they may hold those views, but they're not out there doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Another
They don't
thing,
actually care.
Yeah.
about
Another
any of
thing I
this.
noticed is we have not come very far in bullhorn technology. It's still like, oh, the Lord and the Lord, and it's like, hey, wait, why can't we get a speaker, guys?
Well, with a little more
I can't-
clarity to the sound.
No idea what you're telling me about Leviticus right now.
The mids are just falling apart.
It's all mid. It's like a Toadies album.
Can you buy a new bullhorn?
oh, I'm sure there's got to
I
be
think they're still the same though.
college football or high school football coaches.
That's a business opportunity.
Look at that.
I know this one's got a little walkie-talkie
They
thing.
look
to
like
talk into.
Yetis.
I went to
Just to scream to tell your athletes they're not allowed to drink water till practice is over.
Friday night. We had yet another event at the school, Blake,
Oh no.
where we basically did the exact same thing as we did at that orientation I told you about, except now you had to bring your kid.
Yeah.
and your kid's siblings, I guess if you didn't have childcare, which we did, but not everyone did. So now the same speech that I heard before, this time it was delivered by the teacher, which it was cool to meet her, but there's just kids screaming, like little kids and the kindergartners who have been at school all day. And now they're supposed to come back at 6:15 and sit here for 45 minutes and listen to...
That's a bad idea.
Tim tell the parents about the easiest way to download the GCISD app. And the teacher, like I said, is great. I love the school, and I really want to hammer that point home because let me be clear about something. There are more people who listen to this show and listen to the ticket at this school than there was at the Montessori.
Uh-huh.
I bet.
Yeah. So everything's going great.
I mean, there are people, I met a lot of people, and they were all very nice, and they were all like, yeah, the school's great. It's a lot, but, you know.
How's Dad's Club?
I mean, it's all cool dudes. I mean, we went to that thing.
You're in it.
No,
Last
I'm not.
I heard,
No, it's just they're...
no plans.
I've met guys who are in it. You know, that thing we did was them. Just a different elementary school.
Okay.
Is it blood in, blood out?
Yeah, I think so.
I just want you helping with the drop-off line.
I think I will eventually.
I want you giving fist bumps
And
through the car window.
high fives and smiles.
I did.
I'm gonna end up having like a full crip like handshake with every kid.
like the movie Hardball.
You're like very demure.
Yeah,
Some sixth grader.
Oh,
Don't
know.
do that to a sixth grader. You're gonna get on a list. The guy at the drag brunch is gonna find you.
So
Seth.
that as I
you to
skip
kill him.
around in my weekend check, I'll go ahead and go forward since TC brought this up. Yesterday, we went to the splash pad, the little Grapevine water park. If you're a resident, it's $13 for all four of us, and it's pretty sweet. It's enough. My kid doesn't really want to do water slides beyond like the ones that are pretty small anyway, so there's no point in spending $200 going to Hawaiian Falls or Hurricane
Right.
Harbor.
Just to spin the captain's wheel
So, yeah, exactly.
on the ground.
So, my daughter's learning to swim, and we swam from the regular pool area, which is like 5 feet deep, over. It gets shallower. There's like a bend. And there are about 4 or 5 kids that are, I'm thinking, between 5th and 7th grade, boys. And they're slap-dicking around and whatever. And then they got out while we were still over there. And another kid came over, and they were standing on, on the concrete just outside the pool. And I could kind of overhear their conversation. And the kid who had just walked up was like, well, why don't you like me? And the kid who was clearly like hot shit, and I'm not going to I don't want to say that this 11-year-old was good looking, lest I end up on a...
That's good.
But it was clear that he was like...
I like your instincts there.
Yeah, it was clear that he was like the athlete of, like the better athlete of the group. And he was like carrying himself like real dickheadishly. Mm-hmm. And the kid was like, why don't you like me? He's like, I just don't. I don't want to talk to you. And the kid kind of like sheepishly walked away with another kid who was in the initial group. Okay, so now I'm still over here. Fast forward about 10 minutes. And the shithead kid gets a cup of water, gets out of the water, and stands up, and he calls the kid that he just talked down to over. And he's like, hey, come here. Of course, this is the popular kid, so that kid wants to come talk to him.
Yeah.
Kid walks over. He just throws the water right in his face.
Got Pete Friedman.
Yeah. That's an incredible callback that no one but one listening will get. So now I'm like, man, this shit sucks. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not happy about this. And like that instinct of, I just am going to do something really dumb for someone that I think needs help. Like getting my ass kicked several times trying to fight bullies that were bullying other people when I was a kid. So I was like, I went back and I told my wife, I was like, man, it sucks just watching a kid just get, you just hate it, Mm-hmm. And she was like, I probably would have said something. She was like, if we're at the park and there's like 4 or 5 kids and it gets to a point where they're like throwing stuff at him, I'll say like, hey, chill out. And usually they just immediately like freeze up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of worried this kid would kick my ass. He didn't look like he had a lot of freeze up in him.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go say something to the lifeguard that's right where they are. And just be like, dude, it was a lady. Like, can we just keep an eye here? Because they're just fucking with this kid nonstop. And as I'm walking over there, I have to walk by where the kid who's getting bullied is sitting with a friend of his who is also in the initial group. Like, there's clearly a guy here who's kind of trying to be the go-between. Of like, I'll hang out with the kid no one likes and the cool guy kind of likes me. As I'm approaching there to go around and tell the lifeguard, the two kids, Dorky Kid and his liaison, are eating ice cream sandwiches. And Shithead Kid, before I even get to him, I'm still probably 25 feet away, walks over and just grabs Dork Kid's ice cream and just starts eating it.
Man.
And I'm like, well, that at least confirmed that I'm not just making this up in my head.
Yeah.
And so I just went over to the lifeguard. I walked right past him as he was just eating this other kid's ice cream and walked over to the lifeguard, and I was just like, hey, I'm not trying to, like, cause problems here, but this kid's having a hard time over here. And she's like, I already had to get on to him and his crew for pool etiquette. I'll keep an eye on him.
You know,
and then I didn't know what to do because in my mind I was going to be like, you know, hey, bro, like this whole bullying thing, this is lame. But then then the next thing I know, like his dad has got a Punisher sticker.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Clearly.
And it was clear to me there were no parents there with them. But on the 1% off chance there is, and I get somehow there's a weird castle doctrine thing that applies to water parks in your hometown. And I end up getting shot.
what? So you just wanted the lifeguard to get shot instead?
No, I mean there was no good.
That's the risk they take when they sign up
That's
for
true.
Baywatch.
No,
Yeah.
I think I don't like this middle road. I think the right thing is if you're walking by a kid who's stealing another kid's ice cream sandwich to be like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, I just didn't want to deal with.
But I would like say nothing way more than be like, well, I'd like to make this your problem.
It's not really my lane, or it is. I make it my lane. It's not really my bit. The other story I have from the weekend is my favorite car wash threw away my car tray.
Oh,
Just
no.
threw it away?
I guess.
Or stole it?
They might have looked at it and been like, what is this innovation?
Hands off anything in the car other than like.
Yeah, what happened?
Don't even touch my receipts.
It was under. Why do you have so many receipts?
Guitar Center.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking this back.
It was
I
under.
needed a cowbell.
It was under my passenger seat front. Like it slides under there perfectly.
Oh my god.
And
this is a glimpse into your life. I just don't. Yeah.
And
okay.
I clean my car out before I go. Like I assume everyone does that.
You just looked way too happy when you said that the car tray slides under the seat.
No,
perfectly.
it's amazing.
It's perfect. So I take out
perfect.
the kids' car seats, obviously, because that's what you're trying to clean is the chip hell.
Goldfish.
Yeah, not your shredded lettuce on the car tray.
Lettuce. But yeah. I get everything out of the back. I want it nice and clean. And I was going to enjoy some of the finest delicacies from the Austin eatery known as Schlotzky's.
Yeah, yum.
Which is a sandwich that is tough to eat without support.
They've got shredded lettuce on those.
Yeah, a lot of lettuce.
And it's not there. And I didn't even think, because one time, TC, you might remember this, my wedding ring got stolen out of my car at a car wash.
I do remember that.
Yeah. I had a real cheap one, or relatively cheap, but they had it on camera. And they couldn't get it back from the guy, so they wrote me a check. I think they fired him, but I didn't go back until the next day.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't get it back. Like you just said, no.
I don't know what happened. I just know the option they presented to settle this matter when I went back the next day was...
That's been in my arm for a while, guys. You're never seeing that ring again.
Yeah.
Forget your marital responsibility for a second. When they cut a check, was that a better feeling than handing you the ring back, or a worse feeling?
Much better.
Yeah. Just
and I'm
instinctually.
And don't tell anyone, but I went with a cheaper option.
Yeah, sure. 10 carats, therefore.
Yeah, no, I
pocketed a little bit of that. For sure.
No one's going to
6
be mad
months.
at that.
I had no
put on
idea
the money line.
where mine was. And I've used a $20 Amazon replacement since then.
I just didn't have the balls to call my car wash place and be like, hey, have you guys seen a piece of plastic that possibly looks like something someone would eat off of. They're like $10, $20. So
You probably should have.
I didn't even.
Don't you want to know?
I mean, they
might
probably
have
just
damaged
accidentally
it.
threw it away. It kind of looks like a car mat. You know, like the shape
Do
of
they
it.
throw away car mats?
I'm sure it happens on accident all the time.
But now you're scarred.
Oh, yeah. And I like this place a lot.
You
Dan
can't-
goes there.
Can't put a number on that.
I know.
Mm-mm.
They ruined the innocence. Yeah, I guess I could save this last thing probably for Dan, but I'll at least give you the teaser. Blake, you can use this too. TC knows this. And I think now I get why people get so fired up about youth sports. It's not that it's fun. You force your kid to think that they care. It's just because you can eat shit tons of innings on the weekend. Because every parent of very small children knows you wake up 7, 8 o'clock and it's like, whew, 12 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
So you got both of them here.
That was part
Like,
of.
all right, it's 105. There's the library. Okay, library. That's an hour and a half. That's good. There's a nap in here somewhere. Okay. Kill a couple hours there. All right. We'll give it a tablet for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay.
That's part of gymnastics for me.
Yes.
Like, get up, get going, knock yourself out. We got an early nap.
Well, that and the beauty and grace of the
Yes.
sport.
Yes, and the cute boys he makes friends with.
These cute, strong boys. So my solution
I'm going to
is-
ask him to the violin ladies concert. Says your son.
No, that's just for me. Just for Dad.
I'll go with you.
All right, thank you.
Pet store.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like a half-measure zoo that's free and probably close to your house.
And indoors.
Yeah, that's a good way to
put
they
it.
offer a wide array of animals at the big box versions. And, you know, if you go on a weekend, they probably have adoptions going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got dogs and puppies and kittens there. And we killed, like, easily an hour just, hey, look at this tarantula. And I can hold both of them up and show them. And
Dude, that is so beaten.
it seems beaten, but I mean, what's different between that and going to an aquarium at the mall? There is a difference, but it's not like the difference between that and going to the Dallas Zoo.
That difference comes with age, I'd imagine. If they're young enough, this is the aquarium.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
You don't feel great
We're
when you're
here.
like, hey, look at these hamsters.
Oh,
man.
I might not, but
Let
I tell you who does. Both of them. That might as well be a fucking Gila monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, they're running that little wheel. Isn't
Like,
that
hey,
cool?
yes, I have video of them watching the wheel. You can get a ferret
No,
like
that's
Bellis
incredible.
Jones.
That's so divorced dad weekend.
It works, dude.
Yeah, like everything else in Divorce Dad Weekend, it's fun.
Yeah.
It
Everyone
kicks
loves
ass.
it.
Yeah. A little cheap.
Yeah.
So that's just a little tip. My game for tomorrow is I took a picture, Blake, of a bunch of the prices of animals.
Ooh.
You're never going to get close.
I want to try this. I'm in PetSmart pretty often.
Just the different. Okay, I mean, there's a basic
just-
one I didn't know.
Just give us one or two. A little taste.
How much do you think goldfish are?
$5.
Yeah, it was $6.99.
I'm going to go with $2.99.
22 cents.
Wow. Giving them away. That's a fair price. I had a lot of goldfish. as a
In
kid.
fact,
Are you going to the PetSmart
That's a
wet
fair
market?
price.
no, this is not not the wet market. In fact, I've come around on the idea that most fish are merely a vehicle by big aquarium to make you buy an aquarium. Like, I'm sure there's super expensive. I know there's expensive fish, but some of these are like. I mean, these are.
I was thinking
22 cents.
they're enticing you to buy 4 of them.
Yeah, and you can get out for less than $1.
Right.
Yeah. They're trying to do away with the penny. And they're still only 22 cents.
Why 22?
remarkable.
Why not 25?
I could
why-
buy 60 of those and not even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is
Let's just do
amazing.
this now.
That is the only thing.
You go first. Large ball python.
$40.
Okay, I mean it's a big ass snake.
I was thinking, 30.
$299.
I was thinking more like
Yeah,
Jordan,
yeah.
but
Once
it's
he says it.
$50.
50.
Okay.
And it's a big snake.
Ruined my life for $50.
Not to skip ahead, but possibly the most exciting part of the Chimp documentary for me was getting a hard number on what a newborn chimp costs.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I called my guy, my financial advisor.
Yeah.
It's more than I was hoping for, but it's just good to know what the target is.
What are we talking?
$65K
Yeah.
for a fresh chimp.
Yeah,
That's
for
a
baby.
car.
Top quality fresh chimp. It's a nice car, but it's
It's
a
a
chimp,
car
dude.
that'll love you forever.
Like, actually,
Until it
isn't
rips off
like
of your-
adoption fees $30K?
I don't know if I got to that part. Well, I
No,
watched the
no,
whole
no,
first-
I'm saying,
oh,
like,
you mean
to
for a
adopt
human?
a child.
Yeah.
Like, the outlay to acquire a human, and I know no one, rightfully no one thinks of it that way or calls it that, but that's what it is. Chimp is double. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It's because Michael Jackson had one.
Yeah.
Boon for the industry. All right, Blake, you want to do some sports?
Oh yeah.
It's
I gotta
okay.
pull this little thing. How about this?
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
And today's sports, boys, is brought to you by Frankel and Frankel. They are personal injury lawyers. They are chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. And let me tell you something. If there's ever been a friend that I had that made me think I'm glad the Frankels exist, it's TC Fleming. The road is his. The road is his, and it's not always going to be yours. And if he makes a little error and doesn't share that road, and you find yourself in a car accident, you need to call 214-817-333-3333.
The thing I love about them is they're so analytically minded, which means they would really respect my perfectly clean driving record. No accidents.
Yeah, I don't know if they would
accidents.
ask questions about whether you've ever backed off of a loading dock or pulled out of a loading dock forward or not, but I can tell you what they would do.
Do you think of yourself now as a guy who collects roadkill, or would you say that's in the past?
I would think this is a spot and that they're a family-owned law firm with a client-first mission. Good peoples for sure. This is actually the only client that I don't use, and it's only because I haven't had to. And you'd like to keep it that way.
But if you did.
But if I did, I would call immediately if I got to do a wreck. Of course, they're based here. They're like Dan always says, the defensive coach who became an offensive coordinator or vice versa. They used to defend the insurance companies, and they will now use that experience to advocate on your behalf. 214 or 817, and then just start mashing that 333-3333, 333-3333. So Trey Lance, huh? That was fun. Kind of got the full experience all in one night.
I got a bad feeling about it.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to work out.
No, not every turnover was his fault, but when you have 7...
You just don't want to say that sentence.
Yep, not good.
Well, they threw that graphic up of him only throwing one interception in college, and now he's, up to 9 in preseason games?
Yeah.
And in that college, I don't think he faced a NFL defender once.
No.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe, but... Yeah, it's not like it was a high level of competition, but he probably did.
An NFL defender?
2.
I'm going to bet 0. At the North Dakota State schedule, how many guys from South Dakota do you see in the NFL?
I don't know.
A lot of jackrabbits?
I'm watching a guy from a school I'd never heard of before compete for the backup quarterback spot on Hard Knocks right now.
Hey, Shepard's got a program.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not going to be the backup. He was never going to be the backup. It's a failed experiment. They gave away a 4th for nothing. There's so many better options you could have probably... Like, what about Zach Wilson? See Zach Wilson
pretty good.
balling over the weekend. You couldn't have got him for a 4th.
What about leave it alone and just believe in Cooper forever?
I think it's clear that Jerry's just like, this guy's just so freaking boring.
Yeah.
He's just boring. Like, I got to have a little sizzle.
At the backup quarterback spot?
I think
You're
so.
hard up, dude.
Dude, I mean, he held on to the nooch forever.
Yeah.
Like, he wants a little zest. Even Mark Sanchez is like a little more, hey, remember me? I'm Mark Sanchez.
I don't know that a single name you've said this segment is zesty.
Zach Wilson definitely is. But they're going to move on, I would imagine, from Trey Lance. I guess.
But they have to keep him, right?
They have to keep him?
That's beautiful.
No. I'm saying...
Jerry indicated very clearly he's keeping him.
Yeah, they're going to keep 3 quarterbacks.
and then just make sure they don't pay him a fifth-year option next year.
Yeah, let's not get crazy, but he's going to be on the team this year.
I still think there's a place for him. Like
What, like the Arena League?
Nah, just it's the classic
With the Renegades?
Yeah.
classic sports talk thing of like, what about a little sub package?
No.
But I mean, dude, when you see him in the open field the other night, it's like,
Yeah.
holy hell! How is a guy that big that fast? It's insane.
You
Like,
just
he is-
never really see, like, everyone talks about a sub package. Fans love
That's what I'm saying.
the idea of a sub package, but you don't actually do it because if you
It's
can
your
only
regular
do one
plays.
thing well, then you can't do anything well because everyone knows what's coming. And like if you can do multiple things well, then you're just the starting quarterback. Like there's not like if you bring him like there's no quarterback run that's good enough if an NFL defense knows that it's coming.
What
Yeah.
if he returns kicks?
I think I'm open to anything if
Yeah.
you're going to have to keep him around.
We'll throw it back to the opposite sideline.
Yeah, I don't want him competing with
Trick
my boy
plays.
Turpin, though.
How will it be affected by the new kickoff rules?
What?
Does that suit his strengths as a kick returner, or does it detract?
I think, like Blake's saying, it suits it because nobody's going to show anything in the preseason, but you are going to see some wild-ass kick returns.
I hope so.
For sure.
Maybe.
And I think it's both special teams and or both kicking and receiving. Everybody's just kind of like, let's figure this out, not show the double reverse. Dude, the weirdest thing is the angle kick, like that showed
Yeah.
up on Hard Knocks too. You have
Yeah.
to run so far to try to field the ball, and at that point, the dude from the Bears like had to like outfield catch it as opposed to kick return catch it because he was like on the run.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to watch.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a little more spice because that's all we hear is nobody wants to show anything. But I'm just afraid they're just going to start booting it out of the end zone and just letting them start at the 30.
Yeah. I don't know what it'll take probably 4 weeks to figure out like what the field position averages are.
I
Yeah.
misread the graphic, and I thought it said loading zone, and I thought that was a cooler name than landing zone.
That is cooler.
They call it splash zone.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of sweet.
Splash.
I think they could send Trey Lance to that Australian football punter school.
Yeah. What a weapon.
That's insane.
Send him there for about a week.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Figure it out.
If I could mute a word on the broadcast, it would be dynamic kickoff. I'm so damn tired of hearing about it. Oh, it's a dynamic kickoff time. Oh, let's see if we can get a dynamic return.
You want to talk about wearing dresses?
What'd you guys, before we get to the audio, what'd you guys think of, and if you didn't see it in this game, I saw it in one other one on Saturday. What's it called? Hawkeye? The
Was it
measurement thing?
The measurement?
Oh,
Yeah. Did you see any of this?
No.
So, first of all, in the Cowboy game, it took like 2 minutes, and it was clear they just wanted to use it.
Like the European soccer thing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Like Sony is
VAR?
the new VAR. Yeah. Sony is the
Video
new
assisted
tech
review.
partner for the NFL.
Okay.
And I guess they have a bunch of stuff they're rolling out, and one of them is by next year they're going to try to have every stadium have the Hawkeye measurement.
So that currently not all the stadiums have it?
Well, I think what it
That
is,
seems competitively unbalanced.
well, they're not using it this year.
Okay.
It's just being rolled out in preseason, and then I imagine they probably will test it without showing it to you throughout the year.
It's the
Yeah.
breakdancing of the NFL this year.
Exactly.
Just
This
test
is
it
a little
out.
test pilot run. But what I read about it is it's pretty hard to just pull off because some of the stadiums are really old or relatively, and that just retrofitting all of it has been difficult. But I saw my first 2 live ones, and it's pretty badass. I mean, the Cowboy one took way too long, and the one I saw in another game was kind of anticlimactic.
Why? How wouldn't the whole point be for it to not take any time at all?
I was confused
The
by that.
computer's got to think about it? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Because the second one I saw on Saturday, it was really quick.
Yeah.
And they overturned. This is what sucked about it is they marked a guy short for the first down on a catch, and then they went to the Hawkeye, and the tip was like, I don't know, 3 inches over, and they ruled it a first down. And then the defending team challenged the catch, and it got overturned.
What?
Jeez.
Okay.
Like, but that's a thing, though, if you think about it. They, during the extra measurement time from the robot, had time to think if they wanted to challenge it. And they did. And it was close, and they got it overturned.
You should have to decide if you want to challenge before.
You really should.
Before we go to Hawkeye.
Declare. But, I don't know, it looked cool.
They could cross-promote with Marvel and have Hawkeyes.
Don't think somebody didn't bring it up.
Hawkeye? Yeah.
I've been really won over by the segment of sports fans that believe that getting it right is not important. Just moving quickly and providing a good entertainment product is the priority. And this seems like a step away from that.
I think that, I mean, think about like in tennis. They do it super quick.
Yeah, if you can do it quick, that's great.
I mean,
What
it's
I'm
certainly
hearing
going to be...
from Hawkeye correspondent Jake is
That was like the first one.
Yeah.
It's going to be quicker than having two, like, guys who are partners at a law firm run out with a series of
Yeah.
poles and chains.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but if you're telling me they're doing Hawkeye and then they're doing reviews and that's now I feel like I'm back at a fucking law firm.
yeah. I don't know how it's going to work in practice. It's not going to be this year, I don't think. But it was kind of cool to see for the first time. So the rest of my Cowboys coverage has to do with the pregame show, Countdown to Kickoff, brought to you by the Blue Star Network. And this show doesn't have the same sizzle that it used to have because it used to be just Mickey,
Right.
The heyday.
which was awesome.
Yeah. So, and from the field, right?
Yeah,
Which adds a whole nother layer.
yeah. And now you've got Kyle Yeomans.
Well, and then there was the era of Nate Newton and Michael Irvin.
They had them on both together?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I pulled a lot of audio clips from one game from them.
Now it's
It's the
pretty
glory days of Channel 21.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Whatever.
straightforward. It's Mickey and the guy who thinks he's really cool, and they start with either McCarthy or Jerry, and then they go to either McCarthy or Jerry, and then they go to either Steven or Will McClay. And that's it. It's just basically 3 interview segments that are dry as you can possibly imagine. And every single time I've watched it this preseason, Jerry said the same thing about, CD wouldn't even be out here playing if he were under contract. So what's the big deal? Which is just feels like something I would have said as a child, like when I was in trouble. Like, we weren't going to do that anyways.
Boy, what is it about? Sorry to sidetrack, but I saw the CD video this morning of him running on a beach somewhere. Like, what is it? The agent just feels obligated to send out a video when a guy's holding out. Look how awesome he is. Look at what good a shape he's in. Better shape here than he would be at training camp.
Yeah, both sides are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
If you are the agent and they're like, so what are we going to do during this time? If you just come back to them, I think nothing. You're not going to be the agent for very long. You got to sound like you got a good idea.
But then Zeke was
Thirst
doing the
traps.
same thing.
It's just
Yeah.
thirst traps.
What if we just have you like real shredded on a beach?
That's the go-to.
So one way to spice up this pregame show that has become very bland is to have nothing work. So they came out of there's a little ramp up. They play their insane Cowboys music, and then this is what we started with.
Mike McCarthy's sitting down now, and Coach.
Oh no, wait, here I got to back
first
up
off,
a
it's
tiny little bit.
many, if any, of the starters. So we'll see a lot of young guys. It's their last shot to
it's
get
perfect. It's Mickey,
opportunity
too.
to make this
Jerry
roster.
Jones is dead.
Okay, so that goes on.
Someone is
Yeah,
flatlining.
right. That goes on for about another 45 seconds.
Right now.
What?
Yeah.
It went on for almost a minute?
Nerves around the building today for a lot of these players trying to make a roster, not only with the Cowboys, but 31
There you
NFL teams, too.
Yeah, absolutely. This is their last audition, right?
And then, here comes.
So do you?
Mike
Yeah.
Could they hear it? Probably not,
Obviously
right?
not.
I don't think so, yeah.
I couldn't talk over that.
No.
Talk over the NFL's Amber Alert or whatever.
He's a big pro. I know we couldn't, but
Yeah.
we're not.
Not Mickey.
Yeah.
So let's see. This one's interesting because they're trying to get Jerry, but they have the stadium really, really loud coming out of break and nothing else. So they come out of break and they're interviewing Jerry but all you can hear is the in-house mic and none of the interview.
Solo the crowd mics.
Yeah.
Includes the Ford family of SUVs. And right now, we've got the best deals on an SUV
the end of the
at your
spot break.
Texas
This is
Ford
me.
dealer.
Yeah.
So you can take on game day or go on date night with confidence. And a whole lot. No payments for 90 days on Expedition. Ford, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, Mavs, and Stars.
This segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Good
Raise
so
your
far,
Dr. Pepper.
other than the fact that they have the 10-can 10-T thing going on.
Adding a chorus.
Yep. Yep.
This segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Raise your Dr. Pepper glass to American team. It's a pepper thing.
Something's out of
Okay.
phase, boys.
Still pretty good. Let's see.
AT&T Stadium.
Okay, this is at 9:12. And this goes until 10:18 I'll skip to. So that's a minute and 10 seconds.
Wait, what are you watching right now?
This is television?
I don't know because I derbied it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I imagine they had the camera.
The interview?
Yeah, on Jerry because it starts very abruptly here.
There's
House of
DJ
Pain,
Lethal.
DJ
Hold on,
Lethal.
hold Yeah. Oh, you got to have Lethal.
Goes up bringing in
I am loving the edit.
all the guys that we have brought in. Plus
So-
our draft picks.
so
It's
It
broken aux
abruptly
cable.
goes back to Jerry with the busted cable.
But yeah, like again,
Golly.
still terrible. Still out of phase.
No, they had all that time. But now a new, leak has sprung. They're like, bring back the shitty mic.
Like, what are they doing? Like,
I don't know.
How is any of this?
Oh, just wait, dude.
You know where this wouldn't fly? The TCU broadcast.
That's right.
Because you would think, like, if it's the Browns or whatever, you're like, how much money could they be making?
Dude, I had that thought of like, does Jerry get told about this and just blow a gasket? Because first of all, it's during his interview. And
Yeah.
second of all, it's a team product.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I bet Dr. Pepper's not happy that they read their liner through a Dr. Pepper can.
Yeah. And then anybody else who had like live reads, it sounds like shit.
It's just every year.
It's every year.
Yes.
So just listen to how Jerry comes back.
I bet he doesn't.
Goes up bringing in all the guys that we have brought in, plus our draft picks, I think has really given us, especially with our big boys in the center of the line.
Linville Joseph. Is it complete yet? Agreed to terms?
Oh, here we go.
There you go. Yeah, great job, guys.
The terms.
Okay, so we're better there.
Well, you're not worth $10 billion as a franchise if you spend a lot on
That's a great point.
audio equipment.
That's true.
Yeah, they've
Apparently.
achieved that valuation mainly by cutting costs.
Okay, so
It's like Turkish soccer or something.
just having to stream it. This is coming out of a break after they're done with the team executives and McCarthy. And I don't know why this is the case, Blake, but everyone always has a tough time trying to go to Nick Eatman. We've heard.
Oh my God!
We've heard this
Tough
before
name.
in press conferences.
No, he'll just disappear.
Yeah, like when
just
they were
won't
doing
be
everything
there.
by
He
Zoom, they had to. Okay, Nick Eatman is still not there.
That sounds like
It's
cocaine.
great.
Sounds like cocaine.
So they're coming out of break here, and they do the bit almost like it's a ticker cut, where coming out of break they'll play like 10 seconds from Tyler Guyton or Tyler Smith talking about the team, and then they try to go to the field.
Super impressed with both of them. Just their willingness to come in, wanting to learn. No ego, just wanting to get better every day. They're picking our brains, me, Zach, all the vets, just asking us, what our routine is, just any way, that can help them be successful. Man, they're soaking it in like a sponge. So I couldn't be more impressed with how those two came in, and they're going to be obviously play a huge role in our offense going forward.
First of all, that should have been seamless, and it drops for a second. Let's note that.
Obviously play a huge role in our offense going forward.
Brought to you by American Airlines. Players to watch as always. We're joined by Keepman of DallasCowboys.com. I mean, you've got your eyes on a couple offensive position groups as well. Is offensive line the most polarizing position battle to watch today?
Well, I think you're talking.
Oh no! Oh, this is horrible.
About no ego.
Oh my goodness! I gotta turn that down. What is this?
Somebody's ringing out the monitors.
Oh my god!
Dude, I'm never going to get mad at either one of you for producing a podcast or recording ever again.
That's hard to do.
We're going to
it's really not
on Neptune, where he's apparently been taken captive.
It doesn't sound like something that I could do.
Like it's like when groups played under the bridge.
I don't know how to do
there's no way we can recreate that.
It would be a lot easier just to do it right.
It's got to be cost cutting. Like like the person sitting at the board is like going into Navarro Junior College this next semester.
I'm trying to think. They did the first two
games.
How about a little internship for the Cowboys?
First two games on the road. This is their first AT&T Stadium, but still, Jorts is right. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how they did that.
So I'm going to play the beginning part again, and I won't let it go too long, so you don't have to mess with the board. But then we'll go to the end of Nick Eatman, which is funny.
Eyes on a couple offensive position groups as well. Is offensive line the most polarizing position battle to watch today?
I'm gonna turn this down.
Well, I think you're talking about.
I can't.
All right, hold on. Let's see.
We're going to go to an elementary school hearing test.
All right, turn it up again. Because I know they can't hear it, but it's really funny to imagine just, you're the audience and he's doing that, and then they're like,
And just keep putting them out there, and they're going to get a good pass when Cleveland comes in every.
And it's too bad because I really want to know what's the most polarizing
we're
position.
Not going to see Guyton tonight. That means
let's
he's
go back
the
to him
starter,
real quick.
right? There's no questions asked. It's not injury related
Let's go to
or
him
anything.
Yeah.
The other guy, Connor Beebe. Cooper Beebe. Why do I want to call
That's
him
okay.
Connor?
Well, we had like 3 Connors here.
Holy cow!
Hey, Nick, just don't talk.
Yeah.
I think he is center spot.
I just feel like the first time they do it, I know this is live TV, and I know it's super tough. I feel like the first time you hear it happen, the producer's like, hey, Kyle, don't go back to Nick. And he just kind of keeps moving with, hey, we were going to talk about the same stuff anyways.
I know it's live TV.
How about a sound check?
I watched like a live stream of the Drum Corps Championship a couple weeks ago, and it was like
Flawless?
Wide World of Sports compared to this.
Yeah.
On the Flow network.
Man.
Anybody know Flow?
I don't.
The Flow Sports streaming network?
I don't.
Well, if you want to watch like horse racing where they're like sitting in the carriage while they're racing.
Who owns it?
I'm not sure.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's got to be. They carry like Drum Corps, minor league baseball, dog racing.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Well, shout out to the Blue Star Network there.
That's awesome.
That wasn't really the story of the night, though. The story of the night was also not Trey Lance with his 15 turnovers or his 50-yard touchdown run or however long it was. The story of the night came post-game when Harbaugh was asked about several of his players being stuck on an elevator the night before at the team hotel, the Westin in Dallas. And was this out before the game? I didn't know anything about this.
You know what's weird is
on Saturday, but I wasn't checking for it.
I think I saw the news of this before I found out it was NFL related.
Okay.
And then, sometime during the game, I think this broke.
And I actually saw a couple people, like my wife knows, at least one person, I guess, saying, I've been stuck on that elevator before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That would,
whoa.
That would,
got a CD deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yep.
What do we got?
136, 38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver.
What was the hang-up? Guaranteed money?
Probably. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the $38 million signing bonus doesn't say guaranteed. So
I think they were just waiting until he posted that beach video.
I think you might be right.
They saw.
Yeah.
God, he looks great. Let's get him done.
Well, good.
Wow.
It's about time.
Okay, so
now the new network is getting credit.
No way.
Well, I mean, like,
all
of their people are...
Yeah. What are they going to do now if they've already gone to...
Must credit all city.
So Jim Harbaugh, TC's favorite.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Hate him too. We had his number a couple years ago, though, didn't we, Blake?
Indeed.
Go Frogs.
It's tough. He's probably my least favorite person on planet Earth because, I hate him so much. So, I don't like him. But it's so tough for me that he is so obviously likable.
Why do you hate him?
Because he went to Michigan.
He's Notre
What
Dame.
are we doing?
That's it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
If he was all this but for SMU, you'd just be...
Oh, this guy's
I don't care.
He's a hard guy.
I know.
Where'd the last check come from?
I know.
I don't think he's that likable.
No, I don't think he's likable.
gross.
I think he's hilarious, though.
Yeah,
it's that. Sure.
No, I don't think anyone likes him. I think it's obvious that being around him is just an awful experience.
He's Trump.
But, drinking milk with steak, things of this nature.
It's funny.
Slop him up.
Getting in a treehouse with a recruit.
Yeah.
Pushing the tire himself.
You're right.
Out
Pushing
there.
the tire.
My friend Ben Muth
Playing
was
paintball.
a player under him, and whenever he took over at Stanford, I think he had 3 rules, and one of his 3 was never bare ass another man's stool. In the locker room, we've all got stools.
Seems
you
like
can sit on a front
advice.
stool if you want, but
I think it was, and I
shower.
believe if you include the other 2, the importance of 3 becomes funnier.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure it was no hitting women, no gambling, no bare ass in another man's stool.
Those are just much larger teaching experiences, teaching moments.
Do you feel like if you only give someone 3 rules for their conduct, that
You're going to be okay.
Would that be what you choose?
Essentially what the New Testament is saying.
You'll probably be fine. All right. So, a handful of players, and I guess Dan Fouts still does.
No, Chargers games.
I guess.
Good on him.
You can do American Gladiators.
That's what
probably
preseason
did.
is for.
I know. We get Stanback and they get Fouts.
But I think he's their regular guy.
Oh, okay.
I think he's their regular radio analyst, and his wife, I guess, travels. So she was on there as well. At least, I guess, 11 other players. They got stuck for 2 hours.
That's a big elevator.
I imagine it's like one of these, probably like elevators we can't use. Like, there's been times where we traveled with the Stars, and we would basically use the freight elevator.
Yeah. The ones that have the packing blankets up.
Yeah, that's always
Those
weird
cool
to me.
ones. Yeah.
So we can't play all of this because it's 5 minutes long. He gave a 19-minute press conference after this preseason game. Now, granted, it's a preseason game, but he spent 5 of those minutes talking about the elevator situation. Okay? So he was asked about it, but he was also extremely excited to talk about it.
Coach, and you talk about getting guys to sort of clear their minds. I know last night y'all had a pretty long night out there with the hotel incident. I mean, what was your initial reaction to everything that was going down?
It was. We dodged a bullet. I mean.
Okay, right out of the gate, they weren't going to die.
And that appears to be what he's saying, right?
Movie starring The Rock.
Yeah, they weren't going to die, and they weren't going to be in there past game time the next day.
We dodged the bullet.
Yeah.
We dodged a bullet. I mean, I usually think of dodging a bullet as dodging an injury in football, and you got to get good at that. You got to get good at making yourself harder to break and
How do you do
dodging
that?
a bullet. But I mean, it was a shared experience. I think 11 or 12 of our players were there for about 2 hours, and that's a shared experience. I mean, brought them closer together. I just missed it, being on that elevator. It's like.
It's 9/11.
Yeah.
And he's also kind of like, I wish I would have been there with my boys.
Yeah, he's wistful.
Yeah.
That he missed that.
It's like it's World War II, and yeah.
Wish I could have been there with those guys,
Wish I could have been
there. But Justin Herbert was, and the remarkable things that came out of it was, to a guy, Tarheeb, young rookie player, it's like, wow, Justin Herbert's a leader.
Oh
no! On the elevator,
dude. It's only going to get worse. So we can't stop it.
He said we should take our shirts off, and
he had lube.
Kept everybody calm, and Jerry Fouts told me the same thing. Pulled me aside after they got out, and
does he mean Dan?
No, that's Dan Fouts' wife. I think I probably wasn't clear about that. She does travel. He must have been somewhere else.
I just thought he meant
hotel.
Former Moeller High School and Notre Dame coach Jerry Faust.
No. Only you would know that, and I respect it.
Pulled me aside after they got out, and just how great Justin was, and everybody. I mean, everybody kept their poise, and just
kept their poise.
You get in those situations.
What are they going to do? Commit suicide?
Yeah.
Test of wills.
It's a test of wills.
They definitely did prayers. They definitely joked about who they're eating first.
Yeah, I want him commenting hey, look, baby Jessica, not the most talented player in this class, but the grit is off the charts.
It's a test of wills.
Yep.
Guys, take a knee. I know it's a little crowded, but
I want them to win the Super Bowl so he can say this moment was the defining moment.
Oh yeah.
This is when they came together. And
as they're going through the contingency scenarios, who do you think brought up the idea we might need to repopulate the world with Dan Fouts' wife?
Yeah. Thought of that.
Hey, I don't. It's a situation I've been forced into. I'm not. Dan, you understand. I'm not saying that I want, but it's this or humanity dies out.
Test of will, And I was proud of each of the guys and the two women that were on that elevator.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a win. You feel good about yourself.
Hold on.
You're challenged. And
Not that there were two women that they made it.
Is he saying that
A loss would have been everyone dies.
Under different circumstances that they would have just been repaid in there? I mean, what does he mean by this is a huge win?
It's a win.
You
feel good about yourself. You were challenged and you a test of will. And
sheer animals controlled themselves for 90 minutes.
Pull it in. One of the two. But there's a camaraderie amongst that group that is even stronger than it was before. And it was hot. As each person came off the elevator.
Like it's returning the hostages from Iran. They each descend on the 737.
For some reason, they make them get on a bouncy slide thing in the hotel. They're like, this is level.
Jerry Ford is there.
Like the end of Armageddon when all the
slow motion
oil men are walking off the plane.
As each person came off the elevator. I mean, sweating and some had the shirt off.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, his hair was a little wet, but his shirt was completely dry. That's another thing that blew me away. The guy is just
blew him away.
Beast. So
he's such a great leader. He doesn't sweat in a non-functioning.
Just his hair does, though.
But a little wet there. But I mean,
you can't be thrilled hearing this personally.
As a sweaty guy?
Yeah.
No, I'm cooked.
Harbaugh
in for 10 minutes.
Harbaugh is reading something about you into that. I don't think it's fair of him. I think it's just genetics.
Yeah.
But
I mean, seriously, dude, this goes for another 3 minutes, so we can't play it. But I'll play the last
hits. I'd kind of like to.
30 seconds. Let's see what he goes.
There's no part of this that I haven't enjoyed.
And Joe Ortiz was a rock. He was great. I mean, I was trying.
A rock.
But I know very little about elevators. I wasn't given much.
As opposed to some.
But definitely the folks in the elevator, and Justin leading the group, and Joe and Dan Fouts. I mean, it was all said and done. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, it was hell.
Dodged a bullet.
Reported that you invited members of the Dallas Fire Department. And
yeah. Oh my gosh, the Dallas Fire Department. Take a deep, long bow. I said at one point, I was like, "This is Dallas finest." We got Dallas finest on this. And
at one point, I said
police department, and then for the fire department, I can't remember what word they used.
He just talks about the fire department for the next 2 minutes and how those guys are warriors. And
that had to be big for your guest from last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to ask him about it.
What if he was the one pulling Dan Fouts' wife out?
I think he probably would have told us, but maybe not. Oh, he's
dodged
off.
a bullet.
He's off.
Meaning,
Yeah, he's had a kid.
I just imagine the elevator like in between the two floors, right? And they had to do the crawl down, and that was the bullet that was dodged.
Again,
he thinks that an elevator getting stuck means it's about to fall.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure
that.
rarely happens.
Yes.
I can't remember the last falling elevator death I heard about.
Yeah, and I don't know. Just the way that he has to frame everything like it's a, whether it's, going to the store. I bet he goes to the store, and I was about to say this is a douchebag move, but I kind of do it, and make sure he takes, like, the best route. Like, everything in his life,
well, I mean, you gotta be efficient.
It can never be
You can't start in the frozen foods.
Right.
That'd be a disaster.
Anything less than, this is like a terrorist attack, how are we going to win?
Yeah.
It's very, very annoying.
Who's a test of will?
Dodged bullet. Look at Justin Herbert.
Look at him. No sweat on his shirt.
I mean, it's not going to show up in a pre-draft interview, but when you know, you know.
Boy, and I knew it was traumatic when Jerry got off the elevator, kind of wobbling and kind of a little unsteady.
I love him. Oh, let's take a break.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
How about this?
The Dumbs Up.
And the anthem begins. Let's hope this fixes America.
For our national anthem, we now ask you all in solidarity to please rise, or sit, or take a knee in order to honor America.
Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, and J.J. Abrams has absolutely shattered expectations, Mike.
Now, whether people are standing, sitting, or kneeling, they are all honoring America. J.J. Abrams is a wizard, Tom. All wizard.
More people sitting now as Abrams has made it irrelevant. Who saw this coming?
And there's the rest of the anthem. All the parts we remembered and loved.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
What's the last hinge?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer that question.
I feel like that's a thing of the past, but maybe not for everybody.
I'm not doing this.
Come on.
Come on.
People want to know.
Why don't you make them answer?
He used to tell us about what he did with his girlfriends and stuff.
Oh, my God. That's all.
That's all I was
bragging every Monday morning.
Yep.
Bro.
I had it from behind.
It's a pussy.
Whoa.
Nope. Puppet.
Okay, what do you...
Just like to leave it hanging a little bit.
And you say you don't know who DJ Lethal is. All right. I don't know why I feel like I have to reset. It's Trained Monkey, but it's Jordan Richardson, TC Fleming. Where can we get tickets for this weekend?
Happy to reset.
Hey, everybody.
Link in
It's
bio.
time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
You can go to tulipsfortworth.com, I think, is probably the website. The Quaker City Nighthawks Instagram, at QCNH.
Yeah, the video has all the information.
And that's right, too. TC made a comedy. A comedy short.
Where can I see this?
Also on the IG, x.com, xvideos.com.
Yeah, they tweeted it. You retweeted it. You've seen it.
Oh, this one. Okay, yeah.
xnxx.com.
Well, I do have this giant audience. I do want to say
we're in Texas.
Oh, right. That one.
No. I'm just saying.
That one's a workaround.
Yeah, I know it. I just don't. The user face doesn't. User interface is not.
It's best in class.
No.
This is number one.
Okay, go.
I mean, obviously, it's just a preference thing, But yeah, just if anyone like the video. So Quaker City's playing this Friday at Tulips.
That's right.
We made a promotional video, and that was the first. I haven't even named the production company yet, but I'm starting a production company.
Hot Topic.
So if anyone, Hot Topic Productions. And if anyone, just go watch the video. And if you want stuff like that, my email is tc@itsjustbanter.com.
You do have a 20-year-old news camera that you bought in hopes to...
No, I bought nicer cameras than that.
Do you have that one, though, also?
Oh, yeah, I got
because
that
I want
one.
you to film me throwing baseballs into a trash can.
Yeah, I could do that.
One.
No doubt.
Sweet.
To the mail.
So not a ton here. Dear Captain Fingerbanger. Brad from Austin here. I'm hopeful that my Ymail account is docking successfully with your Hotmail account. I'm celebrating my Alfred Morris with the Cowboys' birthday. My birthday smoking circle is Elvis Andrews and Macaulay Culkin. My heroes are Dan Lieberman, Jake Z, Mike's Twink, and the Terlingua comic.
So the Alfred days were
He got so mad at me.
That was a tough time.
46?
46, but yeah.
I think that's the maddest he ever got at me.
He got mad about that a lot. Bob can't say Alf.
He said it like the. He's like, I don't say Alfred, I say Alfred. That's how it sounded in my ears.
You ever heard this, Blake?
That he said the exact same thing twice.
No.
He can't make like a Alf. Like we ask him, and then
and I was like, "Do you think those are different?"
What's the name of the '80s TV character? And he's like, Elf.
Yeah, that was a pipe down truck of
interesting
epic proportions.
Yeah. And that's what he got the most mad at you about.
Because
he was
saying,
mad at he was mad at Dan too.
Yeah. Anytime you like, I don't know why he would take it personally. Like, it's just the way you talk. It's like, obviously it's because he grew up in an area where like the people pronounce the vowels a certain way and he got used to it. None of it's like
tacos.
If you ever highlight the way that he says tacos, like it's all. I'm sure that because whenever he got here, he got a lot of crap about like you're an outsider and so sensitive to it. But I think it's fun. That's how my whole family talks. So I don't think it's bad.
Dear Papa Poonplower, if you guys brought the Playboy magazine onto the RV and spilled on it, it could be sold as memorabilia. The DZ RV PB would sell for potentially thousands of dollars. Consider auctioning it.
Okay.
Blake, please get William Pace to do the Halo theme song.
That would rock.
Yeah.
Jake has grown a pair in the last few months. Happy to see it. I called him a little bitch on my birthday, so I'll take credit for his turnaround. Hitler Subby, number 1942, day 3.
Man, there's bad vibes all around. This guy.
And just one more, this follow-up. We had a conversation about, here, I'll play it, the Prophets and Outlaws viewer mail theme, which is this. We can't decide what the guy is saying at the end. Maybe Jorts will know.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail.
Because I hear gross, ghost, post. I can't decide.
Let's listen.
Is there an email in your box for me?
It sounds like gross.
It sounds like gross.
I think it's gross, especially with the context of, is there an email in your box for me?
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, having the
yeah.
long time context with the artist that I do, I can confirm that's gross.
Okay. Well, Jeff writes how he was having a small debate. Am I an idiot for thinking they say post, as in he hit the post? But
yes.
I guess we're saying it's.
I'm going to say my vote's gross.
Gross.
It's good levels.
Man.
See that masterpiece.
It's time for a Dumb Zone interstitial.
All right, a couple quick things here before we get into a new HBO documentary. Hard Knocks has been, I like it this year. I like it because I'm fascinated with the Bears, with Caleb. I just think it's good. There's been teams on there that I was not interested in the Jets at all.
I was interested in Aaron Rodgers.
I've had about enough. But Caleb's new, and everyone's, he's a hot button, a lightning rod, because he's got cool backpacks, and my wife immediately could call out his bag that he had on, I think, episode 3.
Like a designer bag.
And he had 2 of them, where he put his first football in. We'll probably talk about this more when Dan is back tomorrow, but there was one thing from episode 2 that I pulled I thought was really, really interesting. And it's like one of these, of course this happens, but I didn't think about it, and I've definitely never heard it. It's before Caleb Williams is going to make his first start on the road. And, of course, much like what you saw yesterday with Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, regular broadcast crews have to get a little preseason action. So do regular referee crews. And so they're talking to him about this crew. And it looked kind of like whenever it's at the start of an action movie, like they bring a guy in and they sit him down and they have like this TV up here. And for some reason, every time it creates a line, it makes a noise.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And they slide him the file and they're like, here's who we got. They're like, ex-special forces, gone rogue.
Computer graphic outline of a guy.
Yeah. And the whole thing, for some reason, makes transitions like it's an early PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So they're sliding files over to him and they're giving the dossier on this crew.
Buffalo, first game.
Yep.
Not to confuse with all these officials, let's just focus on one of these guys.
White hat.
The white hat, Craig Rolstad. And he's
the white hat.
If you
like
didn't
the black
know,
hat.
if you didn't
This
know
is
anything
Pentagon.
about
This is Situation Room, dude.
Seriously, if you didn't know anything about football and you just heard this and you're like, there's only one of these guys we got to worry about, the white hat.
The white hat, Craig Rolstad. And he's been in the league a long time. He is a athletic director at a Catholic school in Seattle, Washington.
How often do I see these guys?
So on a given season, you may see some crews twice, or you may not see a crew at all. It takes about 2.5 years to get through all the crews. There's 17 of them.
Okay.
So you'll eventually get through them all, but all these folks are all going to have long careers, and you're going to have a long career, so you want to
be good with them.
Daddy.
Be good with them.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that in Hard Knocks. It seems incredibly smart to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple different things where I just really, as a fan of the franchise, was entirely not prepared for the idea that the Bears are paying attention to any details, doing anything smart. Because we are...
Can't even make the grass grow, dude.
They have tremendous trouble with making the grass grow. Although that's it's the city parks department that maintains that. That's the big problem, is they haven't wrested control away from them.
Corrupt Chicago politicians.
But because we did overcome the Alfred thing and remain great friends to this day, Bob had recommended a podcast about the ownership, which reminded me of an incident where they fired Dave Wanstead and announced in the same press release that they were hiring another coach, but hadn't yet agreed to the salary for that coach. And so the reading of the situation was that they're trying to pressure him into accepting their contract by announcing that he's the new head coach of the team. And he was just like, no. He never coached them.
I feel like college teams do that every now and then too.
Yeah,
like to the boosters, it's already him.
That's what I'm used to, is the franchise that announces the head coach who's then like, I don't coach there and I'm never going to.
They seem like a smooth operation these days.
A lot of the stuff, how much one-on-one time that Flu spends with Caleb, I was a little surprised by. And I think that's great, right?
I like it, yeah. I like the whole operation. I like Poles, Ryan Poles. I think they'll be fun to root for. So the other sports topic I have before we get to some Chimp love and some local sports, Primetime, Coach Prime. I knew that this story was not over when I heard the initial exchange, but now a Denver Post reporter, he's a columnist, which is an important distinction, has been banned from all Colorado football press conferences, and this dates back about a week and a half ago. This first one is not him.
Eric Christensen with CBS Sports Colorado.
CBS,
Tyler,
I'm not doing nothing with CBS. Next question.
Joe Rigo, Mile High
Ain't got nothing to
Sports
do with
Radio.
you. It's above that. Ain't got nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate you, respect you. Ain't got nothing to do with you.
It's Les
They know what they
Moonves.
did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
Rigo,
Ain't got
Mile
nothing
High
to do with
Sports.
you. I respect you. I just watch.
Okay, so what happened here, as best I can gather, is what's his other son's name, Blake? Not Shadir, but Shiloh. Yeah.
The safety?
I think it was Shiloh.
Yeah.
One of them had like a bankruptcy case,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
He hit officer at a DFW school. I forget which. I don't think it was Prime Prep. Maybe it was TCA. And caused apparently tremendous damage. And so whenever the security guard sued him, and Shiloh lost the case. So, if you're a child, you don't have assets. So the way to get around shelling out $15 million to a security guard is to declare bankruptcy.
And they reported on that, and Dion was not happy about it. Now we get to the next guy he won't talk to.
Coach Sean Keeler, the Denver Post. Happy summer, my man.
You don't like.
Which right out of the gate.
Happy
summer, my man. Don't my man him.
Coach Sean Keeler, the Denver Post. Happy summer, my man.
You don't like us, man. Why do you do this to yourself?
Come on.
You don't like us.
Mark likes me, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah. Mark said he likes me.
No,
so
but
that's
you
one.
don't.
Was that the SID problem? Yeah.
He was so
you don't.
He was so prepared for that, by the way, just by his tone of voice, like he knew he was about to get in a fight.
Yeah, both of them really. Yeah.
So
But
that's
you
one.
don't. Why do you do this, though?
No, I'm sorry. Two-parter if I could.
No, I'm serious.
I'm
Why
sorry.
do you do this? Like, you know you don't. Like, why do you do
Two-parter if I could. You can't.
You cannot.
And this was right after the Aflac ad.
Which one?
Remember, he had that guy that said, Dion, I just want to thank you so much for Aflac really helped me through my accident. And
Yeah, the plant question.
Yeah, can you just explain why it's so good for the average American?
Great coverage.
They did that?
Yeah. Somebody
hear
asked
this?
the question
No.
and was
man.
literally dropped the full thing of great coverage. I was in an accident this summer.
Oh God!
Did he identify an outlet he's from?
I think so, but it's still. I feel like it might have been with the university, but yeah, I'll keep playing, Blake, and see if you can find that if you have a
It's
chance.
like, you know you don't. Like, why do you do
No,
this?
it's not about that. Football question. Football question.
Why do you do this? Like, it would be hard for me to really engage in someone I don't like or something I don't like. I'm just asking why. Like, why?
Gotta pay
What
the bills,
did I
guys.
do?
You didn't do anything. It's not about that. But this is
But
a football
why?
question.
I'm asking you why.
Yeah, you can answer, but that's
Okay,
not
answer
you're mean
me.
to this.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you want me to answer you. So
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fair.
Why?
Why? Because I have
Give
questions.
me your why.
What's your why? What do you want to know?
Why do you always on attack? Like, what did we do?
Where am I on attack today? Where am I on attack?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you opportunities to be on attack. But I'm asking you why. Like, what does it do for you? Like, what happened?
It's not about me.
But what happened to get you like this?
Oh, that right there.
To get you like this?
It's the childhood.
Yeah, that feels like what he's fishing for.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
well,
It's a good question.
No, I'm serious. Because I want to help. Like, I'm serious. I want to help. Because it's not normal.
We can talk about that.
Okay.
Can I ask you a football question?
No,
Seriously.
No, we'll talk about that. When we talk about that, I'll talk about that with you.
Can we ask you a football question, please?
When I talk about that, we talk about that. We can talk about that.
I have a question over here.
Let's go.
Dude, don't do
There's
that.
the Brad Shea.
Estes Park Review over here.
How do you feel about your right tackle position? Here you go.
Crested Butte Times.
Here you go, TC.
You're good.
Coach Prime, Alex Ramirez, Mile High Sports Radio. This is a non-football related question. I recently had a medical condition, about 2 months ago, and thank God I had Aflac. All right? And, no, I'm serious.
That's a good one.
You're an ambassador for him, a spokesman
Thank you.
for him. How important is it for everyone to have Aflac as part of their life?
Well, it sounds like
it's amazing, right?
It may sound like I'm doing a commercial with it covers
You believe in
the
it.
gaps, that we can't cover. I mean, Aflac is phenomenal, but not
Then he
only
gets
they
in.
phenomenal, too.
He gets into the Aflac read.
What's going on?
he's like, it sounds like you're asking me a question like I'm doing a commercial with you to get around some of the rules we have. I'm like, no, it's
Right.
exactly what you're
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
Is that the only
to
reason?
a T.
Is that the only reason this isn't happening more in life? Like, why at every White House presser now, or War Report or anything, they're just not like, tell us a little bit about why that Northrop Grumman missile system is working so beautifully. And
there's some exciting things coming out of Lockheed.
Yeah, explain to the shareholders.
The way you guys are describing it, I was thinking that the guy had some kind of story and he alluded to one.
That's how I remembered it, but
he
no.
really didn't give one at all.
No.
So yeah, they've now banned this guy.
Well, yeah, he
Sean
hijacked the
Keeler.
press conference with Affleck.
No, not that guy.
That guy's
that guy has carte blanche. After this, from the athletic department, after a series of sustained personal attacks on the football program and specifically Coach Prime, which is how they refer to him in official releases.
A personal attack on a program is a little weird too. That's not a person.
That's true.
It's a program.
The athletic department, in conjunction with the football program, have decided to not take questions from him, blah, blah, blah. So when asked for a follow-up by the Denver Post, an SID cited his uses of the phrase false prophet, deposition Dion,
Okay.
That does feel personal.
From the makers of the Plea Maker.
Yeah.
Funny.
Planet Prime.
Mm-hmm. That one's cool.
Yeah.
Called the program a circus. Spoke of the Dion Kool-Aid. And finally referred to him as the Bruce Lee of BS, which I think is kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's
a bit wordy.
It's not nice.
No, it's not nice.
I'd be upset if someone called me that.
So yeah, he's booted for the year. And then I'll play you a little bit of this. He was asked about it in his next press conference, or at least maybe this was over the weekend. Their last prep.
Over the weekend,
you stupid bitch. Okay.
Hey, Mark Kisla, Denver Gazette.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Two-parter.
Okay.
Go back to the elite competitor. Do you
Yes,
think
sir.
a elite competitor blocks the outside noise or feeds on the outside noise?
That's a wolf in sheep's clothing question for sure, and I do like it. The guy's a little nervous trying to deliver it. Dion gives kind of a BS answer, and then I think the guy follows up.
I hope that I'm covering you from now through the college football playoff.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I pray so.
Yeah. But I'm also known as a person that sometimes asks less than supportive questions or critical questions.
I don't.
You may be able to tell by my extremely sure of myself tone that I'm a real bulldog. I'm known as someone who
a bit tenacious.
I hope that I'm covering you from now through the college football playoff.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. I pray so.
Yeah.
I pray so.
But I'm also known as a person that sometimes asks less than supportive
then I don't
questions
love
or
your
critical
chances.
questions.
So
if I ask a negative question, will you not answer them anymore?
This guy's wife hates
That's
him.
being negative right now. Like you take an approach that I'm going to be negative. I'm not negative to anybody in here. I will challenge you and ask you why or where is this coming from. So I'm not built like that. I'm not built to hate. I'm not a hateful guy. I'm not I come with love. I think if anybody in here has had encounters with me, I don't come with the bull junk.
All right, we don't have to. He's such an interesting guy to me because, I mean, we met him, and he did seem like a really nice guy from the standpoint of he's a super famous guy who didn't big time everybody. He also might have been very high after just recently having part of his foot removed.
That's when you met him, is right after the foot?
I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure. But he was gentle and cool, but I also think just everything he does smells like such horse shit.
You maybe would call him the Bruce Lee of BS.
I might.
Yeah, no, he's such, I mean, he's it's an overused word, but he's literally polarizing. Of like, there's a lot of times where it just all seems like too much noise, just so trifling, just arguing with everyone, being petty about everything. And whenever it's like that, it's just, this is exhausting. I hate him. I don't want to hear about him anymore. But there's times whenever he might be God. Like,
are you seeing the field clearly?
Like, whenever he was a player, it's like, whatever he wants to say, obviously, let him say it. I've never seen the position played like this before. This is the most exciting defensive thing that's ever happened in my lifetime. And then, whenever, like, the shine was really off him after the prime prep thing. And so whenever he says, I'm taking over a Division II school or whatever, I'm not super excited about it. But whenever you find out halfway into the season that he hasn't lost the game and actually they're dominating and they've got all these like amazing players, and then they're going to come with him to a Power 5 school, like all that's so exciting. And then he beats the participant in the national championship game.
I can't
from
say
the year
anything
before.
about him.
Sorry.
It destroyed my heart.
That's
he
whenever
is a
it
god
felt
to me,
like,
I suppose.
Yeah, like that. Because we all want to see excellence. That's, as much what you're following sports for as anything, is to see these transcendent performances. And he's given so many of them, and if he could translate that into coaching, which like all makes sense on paper at the college level, that someone like him would be able to recruit elite athletes that will respect him in a way that they're not going to respect any other person on the face of the planet, and you can get all of those guys playing together at a stadium that looks really cool because it's nestled in the mountains, and it's a black and gold uniform. It's a great color scheme. Like, it all sounds amazing to me, and I just get real bummed whenever they go nearly winless in Pac-12 play and then argue with Denver Gazette.
All right, before we do the Chimp doc, DC, you want to tell us what you've been wanting to tell us?
Definitely. We are broadcasting today from Southlake, Texas, and I got to hearing over the weekend from a listener of ours who is a Southlake dad, like Dan, that they had their Southlake Touchdown Club gala dinner this weekend.
Oh boy!
And the details are at once exactly what you think, and at another absolutely astounding. So this is their Night of Champions presented by Basin Ventures, which is clearly just oil and gas. Of course. It was held at a Mercedes-Benz dealership.
Did they have that at any of your schools?
None of mine, though. And so it's you got an auction, and you got like a little casino action, casino raffle. Prizes.
I love the casino
Classic.
night.
Casino night. We're going to call it Casino Royale.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
What's it mean? Is it like royal?
Just give us your money.
Some of the casino, or some of the live auction items being bid for, a safari.
Boy.
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
It does say airfare and taxidermy services not included.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to stuff anything you get on your own.
So it's a killing safari. It's not just to look at these elephants.
Come on, dude. Do you know the room you're in?
Yeah.
It's got a picture of a guy next to a dead elephant here, so it's announcing it pretty obviously. Stars Suite, Cowboys Weekend Experience. Then, of course, they have the Mavs experience, but because this is the Southlake Touchdown Club, we can elevate this a little bit. You'll be sitting not only courtside, you'll be sitting courtside in February, this February, next to future first-rounder Quinn Ewers.
What?
It's not who I thought you were going to say, but they have to get some interest in people from Southlake going to a Mavericks game.
They auctioned off a courtside seat with a former quarterback at the high school.
While he's going to be preparing for the draft.
That's awesome.
It's this February.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We could do it. The show, the network, could put that together.
I think the auction's over. Someone already won it, so unfortunately it's not going to be.
It does
you can talk
seem
to
like
him, whoever won it.
It does seem like a ploy to try to get Southlake interested in going to an NBA game.
You think they're against the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Overall, a little bit.
Of course, Suite at the Waste Management Open.
Okay.
Right.
If you were interested in that. We're not done with the hunting. They also have a hog hunt on advertise, and I've done hog hunting myself, and it's not always glamorous, but the picture in this one is two guys with heavy machinery in a helicopter.
Of course, yeah, that's the way you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Get the AR in the helicopter.
Sarah Palin, she used to shoot wolves from a helicopter.
Custom Dragon golf cart.
Also right up your alley.
If you'd like to bid. If I could pick anything on this list, I want the golf cart. I want a golf cart
This
so
is
bad.
a high school booster club.
Yes. Yeah.
Like what? Dude, we might be at $1 million right now.
Yeah, I don't think they raised some of the. I got the totals of what they went for, and I was surprised that I would have paid a lot more than what they ended up paying for the Ewers thing. I think the Ewers thing was like $11K.
Argyle's just selling commercials.
Yeah. There's no. Richland might have hit me up for like you can have lunch with you or something.
Mm-hmm.
They also had a Taylor Swift signed guitar.
Some poor dad was going to this event with his 15-year-old daughter's like, I heard about the guitar.
And they're telling Taylor Swift, hey, this is for kids. Could you please
really,
sign
it's
this
just for a new jugs machine and to returf the field.
It's also signed by Quinn Ewers. The headstock.
Confusing.
So those were the live auction items.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also have your raffle prizes. The raffle prizes, we got a vacation home, weekend in Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos.
Byron Nelson experience, VIP experience, and then the big one, if they draw out your ticket from the raffle thing, an AR-15. Looks like a really nice one.
Yeah.
I bet.
A Black Rain Ordnance billet AR-15.
Get the dragon.
It's green,
insignia.
dragon logo.
Yeah.
Pick it up from the school.
Dude, I love the
I want a gun.
No age restrictions. Pick it up at the front
There's
office.
just some guy in the crowd who's like, "Come on, Turks and Caicos, come on, Turks and Caicos." And they're like, AR-15, and he's like, "Not so bad, not so bad."
Yeah, I'll take the gun.
I want it.
I was told that during, they've got obviously a number of speeches given. I want to get the details right. I believe it was someone associated with Patriot Mobile, like kind of storms to the front of stage. I'd like a word, and led them all in prayer.
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure we all center God in this event. Then there was also another speech where I think it was so. There was a number of NFL players there because one of their. Well, I don't even know, because some of them were guys that have no ties to the area whatsoever, and so I was like, why are they here? And it was, I think that their agent is a big Southlake guy, and I
do him a solid.
I think it was him that was giving the speech of, a lot of people say a lot of things about this community, and they say that because they think that we think that we're better than them. And we do think that, and it's because we are better than them.
I love it.
And the whole Dragon touchdown club is just going nuts, just chest bumping each other. Isn't that as you were replacing the red circle with a line through it stickers over the Dragon stickers? Mm-hmm. This is what you used to do, right, Jake?
Yeah.
As you were doing that, isn't it because you were worried that somewhere in some Mercedes-Benz dealership, they were all talking about how much they agree that they're better than you?
Without a doubt. I knew it then. I'm the OG of this. It's just, unfortunately, I now have to kind of live here for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I like winning flag football games.
Yeah.
There were NFL linemen there. I don't know what the substance of it was, but I believe one of the Touchdown Club dads tried to mix it up with one of them.
I'm not surprised by this.
And I was like, what does he look like? And the guy I'm talking to, he's like, he looked like me. He was not ready to take on an NFL lineman.
People get hammered at these things.
Yeah, why are you going?
Yeah, I mean, it's open bar, usually. I don't know. Maybe they could make it cash bar, or you pay $500 to get in.
That's not stopping anyone.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a big part of the way that, at least the way I always heard it was, you can look at the reported salary of a high school football coach, but what you don't know is what they're getting from the booster club for speaking fees, which is basically there's no salary cap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you can just pay them $20K to come out and talk for an hour.
I mean, it was a great speech.
Yeah, well.
Final detail, many beautiful, amazing people in the crowd, number of NFL alums. Then my source indicates Taylor Sheridan also there.
There's no doubt.
Of course he was. You know that is, Blake?
No.
The Yellowstone and
17
or whatever,
the
right?
guy getting Jerry and
buying up everything.
Yeah.
And the guy that everybody in Fort Worth wants to dress like now.
Ugh, yuck.
God, big
just
yuck.
looks like Pee Wee Herman when he goes to the Alamo.
Ugh.
Just imagine standing next to
$21
Mr. Yellowstone
hamburger.
is someone like some guy who's the top sales guy this Mercedes dealership is trying to fight an NFL lineman. But then the night turns around quickly for him as he wins an AR-15.
Right. Okay, so there's a documentary on HBO right now, and they're doing this one with the slow drip. Chimp Crazy. And it started last week. Episode 2 was last night. Did you watch any of this, Jordan?
Not
okay.
Episode 2.
Okay. I only had TC
That'll be
watch
tonight.
So I don't know how many there are going to
guess
be.
What happens.
It's kind of an interesting idea. It's from the maker of interesting idea in that they're not releasing them all at once. It's from the maker of Tiger King. I don't recall Tiger King being a weekly release.
Netflix is pretty big all at once.
Okay.
Whereas I can't remember a Max that's been all at once.
It was Netflix.
No, it was all at once.
It was all at once, and it was during COVID, so that's
sure.
the eat up or whatever.
Because I remember, because I started working on your show right at COVID, and your big idea was let's watch Tiger King in one weekend, which was 6 hours. And I said, I can't do that. And he said, what else do you have to do? Because we were all locked in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Knocked it out. Well, this one they're going to do every week, which I kind of like, because I'm not a binge guy. I guess I don't really have a place to have opinion if I'm not a binge guy, but I like to be able to read about these things. It's basically people who want to own chimps. Primarily when they're babies. And there's one main lady who's kind of telling the story, and she's telling the story of a place in Missouri, which is where apparently, what was the number they gave?
No surprise there.
Of course. Apparently, Blake, Missouri, no laws regarding animal ownership. Like, none.
Checks out.
Like,
the way
even in Texas, we have some.
Mm-hmm.
This lady at this place has bred 3/4 of all the chimps in the United States. Some way, somehow, they trace back to her preservation, or she's not a sanctuary. What does she call it?
Chimp Center or something.
She has some dolled up name.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah.
Center.
I love
Research
stats like those.
Institute for Chimp Research or something.
So a lot of what she has are also chimps are pretty kick-ass when they're young, but when they get like 5, people don't want them anymore. And so they have to have somewhere to go, and she'll take some of those in.
Because they head straight for the balls.
Yeah. And there's also the chimps that were in commercials and movies, but then age out of, because they live very, very long lives, like similar to human lives.
Yeah.
But they don't really want them to act once they're past probably 10, maybe even less than that.
Sounds like Hollywood.
Yeah, right?
The one circus lady that they talked to briefly in the beginning and then kind of phased out, I assume she's coming back. I don't know.
Sure.
She seemed to say that she had like a lifelong relationship with her chimps, right? So I think if you're a pro's pro, that maybe you can continue, but your average person, like just a family that's like, hey, why don't we get a chimp?
You can't handle it. You got to get rid of it.
Around 5, they're calling someone like these people in Missouri.
Yeah. And so, but still, even the ones that are like Tonka, who's like the main one, he was in a bunch of movies. He's 38, and he's
38,
way retired and way not doing well.
Had a stroke.
Yeah, eventually they get, well, they say. Who knows?
Okay, yeah.
We'll see.
Matt Perry monkey.
So the weird thing about this is since the guy from Tiger King made it, everyone in the wild animal community knows who he is now. And so no one will talk to him, and he like can't get in touch with exotic animal people anymore.
He cannot interview Deion Sanders.
He cannot
Prime
interview.
is like
no. Des won't talk to him.
Yeah, the documentary maker.
Yeah. And so what he does is he hires what he calls a proxy director.
Love it.
So it's a guy who
beard.
who knows a lot about this world because he used to work in circuses and he used to work in animals. And I think he even kind of knows a couple of the people who worked at the chimp camp.
He did 14 months in jail for animal smuggling.
Yeah, I think he said I had a small relationship with the federal government. They show like the headline, like 14 months for. So he's the one who goes in with hidden cameras and stuff to get their trust. They never actually see the guy who's making the movie. He has a crew with him.
Yeah.
It's that guy's crew, but he just is like, yeah, you know.
I found that to be pretty ethically questionable.
Dude, that's exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Like, this is a little shady.
Like if you're in the situation where I want to make this documentary, but no one wants to talk to me, I am very impressed that he came up with a solution to that, but I don't think that you should. If you're trying to make a documentary about people who don't want to talk to you, you just shouldn't. Like, tricking them into talking to you. And, like, there's some of that in all journalism.
Yeah.
That you want to make the person feel comfortable, and you really, what you ideally like is for them to feel a little more comfortable than they ought to.
It's possibly a truer documentary, though, you know? He's really getting people to say what he's...
That's a good point.
If the aim is to just, you know... Just document this.
Yeah. If you think that getting a transparently, if getting to the truth and presenting the truth is the only thing you're doing here, he is doing that, and he's doing it in a way that overcomes the obstacles that have been put in front of them. But I just think that you owe something to the subjects that you're publishing all this information about in the public. And if they would have looked at you and said, I don't think it's in my best interest to talk to that guy, and you intentionally went around it and then published the exact stuff that they're worried about, that seems like you're doing wrong by them.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting for the part in the documentary, which will probably be at the end, where they tell the people, like, I'm just an actor, basically. The same guy you didn't want to talk to, he just sent me. Blake, they made a lot of their money in chimp parties, which are basically, for a birthday party, they'll bring over a chimp.
Yeah.
Like a 6-month-old chimp, and he's just cute as can be, man. These are, and
he's wearing a party hat.
Yeah, he's got little suspenders on and stuff. And you've probably heard the stat that their DNA is like 97.5% human. So the amount of things that they can do and feel, and watching them put on pants, and
absolutely.
One lady, there's one family that taught theirs to drive. And he would drive around their property, and he would drink wine, and he was just...
Well, booking that monkey for White Elephant, that just going through all the pictures, like, he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was busy.
So the thing
He's at the Mercedes-Benz dealership this past weekend.
Filming a Dunstan Checks In remake.
Yeah.
Got to get a female chimp, though, for the remake.
Yep.
By the way, I didn't follow through on it, but... I think they're making a female casted Fight Club.
Man.
So get ready for a terror attack.
Melissa McCarthy.
I don't like that.
It's always her.
So for the chimp parties...
As a big advocate for female rights, I want them to have their own things.
Correct. So these parties are making money. There's a chimp's helping you open your presents, and it's all fun. And they did show a news report, though, where... At one of the parties, it's pretty light, but one of the chimps, the chimp, grabs at a kid's leg, kind of.
It's a toddler.
It's toddler. It's a toddler's leg.
The smallest child.
Yeah.
He's just yanking.
Okay, so then they're doing the interview with the guy.
This is an amazing moment.
They're doing.
Please tell me he has cleft palate.
No, so they're doing the interview with this guy. He's the handler of the chimp, and he's somehow involved in ownership, like he was dating the lady or something.
Yeah.
And so he's giving an interview, and he's like, "Listen, this chimp almost always docile. Like, he does not go after kids. He's not aggressive, and it's very clear when you're watching this man speak that his nose is gone. He has a pretty makeshift piece of nose that has been fashioned on.
In his credit, he said almost always.
Yeah, and like TC said, you're just hoping, tell me this guy was in combat.
Some kind of birth defect.
Yeah. And then,
would love a birth defect.
And within 30 seconds, they hit you with at one point, such and such chimp bit his nose off.
God damn it.
And his girlfriend or wife had to go back into the enclosure to retrieve it.
Oh, that's right.
So that they could get to the hospital.
Same thing in Tiger King. The one handler was missing an arm.
That's true. It's apparently a feature of all these.
Did strongly recall Dirty Work.
Yeah, that's true. The Saigon Horror. As TC said, it's $65,000 for a baby chimp.
That's
and
crazy.
Under Biden, that has to have hit six figs.
Mm-hmm. He did this. Put a sticker on a chimp's ass.
There's a really creepy undercurrent of the whole thing. Obviously.
Yeah.
But they keep saying things like, so right out of the gate, Blake, they tell you the thing about a chimp child or baby is they don't go off into the world and develop their own family units necessarily. They want their mom forever. So they don't go have friends necessarily like we do.
Yeah.
And these people are enamored by the idea of, if I can raise this thing, it will always want me. And it will show me unconditional love. And at one point, the lady even said, they don't grow up and get a mind of their own. They'll be your friends for life.
Yeah,
which is something
terrifying.
So dark about that.
Is this starting at childhood as well, TC?
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Yeah. Talk to her, Dad. You'll figure this out in about 5 minutes.
So they get sued.
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
that's track one of the documentary. It's just,
all of them are like, we want
one shot of a lady in a pink room holding a stuffed
Right.
monkey being like, the love of a child is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
The love of a chimp is the only thing real in this world.
Yeah. That's basically it. She's like, you'll never experience anything like the love I get, from this primate. They get sued by PETA, of course, because...
That was first foreshadowed in the documentary by showing a bumper sticker that instead of Calvin, it's a chimp, but he's peeing on the PETA.
Yeah. How did they... I can't remember how they... Oh, you know how it happened is somebody who worked there who was really into working with primates
Yeah.
kind of rolled on him. And they gave him the
Yeah.
cool camera glasses. PETA did. And they recorded everything they saw, so they got sued. During the time they got sued, they had 2 different escapes of chimps into basically just this rural town. And,
Wandering the highway.
Yeah. Trying to get into a car. There's a funny part where somebody behind him is rolling on it. They're like, oh, shit, he's going to rob him.
Yeah.
The chimp is like sticking his head into a car window. She feeds him McDonald's Happy Meals. PETA can't be.
Oh, he wants a toy.
Just loving that.
Yeah.
If it's bad to feed your loved ones McDonald's, take me to jail right now. Primates do fine on McDonald's. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so they do the raid. There's an interesting part where there's no cameras allowed, but they know the raid is coming. So the documentary team just decks the whole place out with hidden cameras.
Justice Department can't be thrilled by that.
Yeah, that seemed shady to me. And then you tell me if you think this lady has a solid handle.
Yeah, the way that these documentary people, I'm sorry, but the way that they're handling this, do you feel like they're a moral authority to be judging the way that this...
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've got some underhanded tactics.
I was bothered.
So tell me if you think the chimp lady has a solid understanding of how, like, custody court works.
I decided I'm going to fix everything on that 365-page report. Just because it was old doesn't mean you can't fix it up. Watch yourself. He's going to bang.
Oh, here comes the check.
Connie was very anxious to spend all this money to fight to keep her babies. I said, don't worry about it. They're your kids. How can they take your kids? I mean, this is America. The judicial system will protect us because we haven't done anything wrong. They're your kids.
No.
Yeah, no. There's like a whole branch of court that exists to take people's kids. She's like,
Your Honor, may I begin by pointing out she calls them children.
Yeah, but just the idea of they can't just take your kids. This is America. No. No. I know a lot of people who learned that the hard way. So yeah, I watched a little bit of the second episode.
Have we gotten to the person being brutally
Travis?
injured? I remember that happening.
Travis
It probably
Chimp?
happens multiple times.
Yeah, they get
throughout the year.
They get to it in episode 2.
Okay.
It was in Connecticut, and it was
Yeah,
That's
I thought
the
that was
state.
coming.
He was born there, I'm pretty sure.
Travis?
Yeah.
I would have picked. That would have been down somewhere around 50 if I had to choose the state this happened in.
Connecticut? I know,
Yeah,
right?
I just remember the story.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
And here's I read this on the Wikipedia page. It was the lady who owned it, Colleen, because they end up talking to her daughter.
I can't
that's
wait to watch
That's
this.
a chimp owner name.
Yeah,
it really
it
is.
absolutely is.
100%.
All of these people, there's not a single one that you're like, she owned a chimp?
Yeah.
She had a friend over, and the friend was holding a Tickle Me Elmo. And that was like Travis's favorite toy. And he just went into a rage and ripped her whole face off.
Like
and they play the 911 call.
It's like Christmas of '94.
They
over the Tickle Me Elmo.
They play the. I shouldn't laugh about this, but they play the 911 call, and there's a lady
Funniest 911 calls. Go.
who is clearly in distress, and she's like,
9/11.
They're like, what's your emergency? And he's like, the lady's like, he's killing her. He's killing her. Send the police. And the dispatcher said, who's killing her? And I guarantee you she was not ready for what came next, because the lady goes, my chimpanzee.
No.
Back up.
All right, there we go. On sports.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
And the news today is brought to you by Early Bird CBD. Early Bird CBD, that is a Texas company. I know what you're thinking when you hear CBD gummies. This ain't that. If you have a drug test to take, this ain't that. That's because Early Bird CBD gummies come with 2.5 milligrams of natural THC, a little micro dose to make you feel good. These are not necessarily sleep gummies, although they may help you sleep. But these are feel-good gummies. Let's just flat out say it. You can use the code DUMBZONE at Early Bird CBD. You'll get 20% off. That's good for about another month or so. These things, they're fantastic. A little mild buzz, Blake.
I was going to say, I turned a buddy of mine onto these. He has never done edibles, never smoked, but was interested. And I feel like this is like the perfect thing to experience.
Yeah.
You just want to take the edge off rather than cracking 3 beers or something. Just take this little delicious gummy and you'll feel great.
Yep, they ship to all 50 states. Retailers down in Austin and Central Texas where they are located. But yeah, these are nice. They're a nice little weekend. You know what? I'm not going to judge. Do it whenever you want.
I was going to say, don't limit yourself.
Put a smile on your face. Take
First
the edge
thing Monday.
off. Hey,
Monday at 2:09 p.m.
Whatever. Whenever.
Yeah, this is not a nighttime. You can operate on this.
Yeah. So go for it. They are legal because they are derived from hemp. They contain less than 0.3% THC by weight. Like I said, if you got a drug test, same for you. But if you're looking to feel good, it definitely is. earlybirdcbd.com.
But don't pay full price.
Don't. You would be a
Please
fool.
don't. Please don't.
You would be a fool. Use code DUMBZONE and you'll get 20% off. What do you guys know about this gentleman, Pavel Durov?
Nothing.
Until today, or nothing still?
Still nothing.
He is the founder of Telegram.
Okay.
And he is often called Europe's Mark Zuckerberg. He is worth $15 billion.
He's got to be a pedophile, right?
Well, he was arrested.
Whoever founded Telegram, like if you're just asking me, tabula rasa.
Yeah.
The guy that founded the thing where the secure messaging service.
Yeah, now we'll get into why he was arrested in a second. He founded Russia's version of Facebook in 2006.
Facebook.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, it just feels weird. How can... If something that big already exists and you just create such and such's version of it, like how hard could that have been? I don't know, but he...
like Jin Yang creating the Chinese Pied Piper in Silicon Valley.
There. Yeah. Of course, he left the company because the company was, pretty much owned by the Kremlin, or at least Kremlin-linked. He's had problems with Russia before because they are like, oh, that's awesome that you have all this encrypted information. Give it to us.
Of course.
And he says no.
I wouldn't say no if I were him.
Well, he was able to get out. He is the world's 121st wealthiest person with $15 billion. And the reason...
Like, even our guys didn't say no. Come on.
Like Facebook and everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to torture you.
That's what Snowden died for, to let you know.
Yeah, you're not going to get your face poisoned.
Yeah.
You might. So, you're going to get run off the road.
Telegram's super popular in Russia as well as Ukraine. And it is pretty popular with your right-wing hate groups. It's popular with terror groups. It's good for organized crime and trafficking of the human variety. And, I guess France had kind of had enough of it.
Interesting country.
And said, I know, right? It was an investigation into organized crime, drug trafficking, fraud, the distribution of pornographic images of minors on the platform.
See?
And he says, Or Russia says, like, hey, France is not exactly playing
is that
along
even
here.
illegal there?
You know what I saw the other day was the original letter that the owners of Pirate Bay sent whatever committee in the United States. Because I think it might have been Sweden that it was based in.
Yeah.
Sweden
Yeah,
or Denmark.
believe so.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest fuck you could imagine.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, I'll just assume it's Sweden. Nothing that you've charged us with is illegal in Sweden, which, if I need to make you aware of, is not in the United States. But this would, basically, it seems like this would be like Zuck getting arrested abroad. Like if he was just out gallivanting around.
Just with tons of sunscreen on.
Yep.
Riding
Smoking
that weird
them meats.
surfboard that's like 3 feet out of the water thing.
We saw one of those in Idaho. The tricks are amazing.
Was it Zuck?
No,
It could have been.
He's good at water activities.
Yeah.
Probably. He's got time to practice.
What a weird transformation.
So I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't you charge anyone? I guess whatever. I didn't know the guy's name, so of course I'm not going to have some insightful analysis of this whole thing. But anyone who's like, this is why a lot of our laws around these things are structured the way that they are, is that we specifically make it so that if someone that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't know sends child porn on Facebook, you can't charge Mark Zuckerberg with child porn charges, because then no one would ever run any internet sites, and we want internet sites. So how are they able to make it stick to this guy personally?
I don't know, other than, like, he's very obstinate about providing documents.
Yeah, okay.
So
Tell government investigators F you enough times, they'll probably find something.
Right, yeah. And I think there's probably pretty open money laundering occurring.
Yeah, I expect, yeah.
What was our deal with the classified ads we were going over? Is that a similar situation?
The Backpage thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like, who do you go after? Michael Mooney did a podcast on the rise and fall of Backpage.
It's doing great now.
They clean it up?
No.
For real?
Yeah, dude. Louis J. Gomez, when he was on, Matt and Shane was giving a review of what it's like to hire hookers in various cities, and it sounds easy, and frankly, I don't know. On the one hand, there was part of me that's like, boy, that sounds like a great hobby. Then he's like, well, one out of every 10, you'll get a guy who says he's with the cartel, and he'll publish your home address and like pictures of your loved ones, and be like, I'm gonna come and kill all of them if you don't send me $3,000. But if you just tell them to F off, they won't do it. That was his analysis.
Smart. So I learned over the weekend who Kick Kennedy is.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Kick.
Do you know Kick personally?
Yeah.
I was going to say...
You know Kick personally?
Yeah.
There was at least a decent chance of this.
I know he's got some Kennedys.
It's Kick.
It Kick's the big one,
Kicking
number one?
Kicking her brother.
Kicking her brother.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was at a buddy's house, if I can digress.
Please.
In West Hollywood.
I'd like to hear about this.
Kilby, friend of mine, who's
Yeah.
directed a few Son of Stan videos, and a close friend. A guy who co-directed with him is childhood friends with those children. He's a buddy, and he just lives in this small little bungalow. Kind of doesn't look like he has a lot of money, but he has a lot of money. Not Kilby, but his across the way neighbor who directed some videos for me. He's friends with those Kennedy kids from back in the day, and they would just be over hanging out at his little bungalow, and I just thought that they were just people until, I was told a little bit later.
Kick's actually a Kennedy.
And her brother was over Kick's brother was over one time, and my buddy was like, hey, go out onto Formosa, which is a street in between Santa Monica and Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood. It's like, just go out to the street, look at all the cars parked along here, guess which one is his car. And I was like, okay, he's doing a bid. It's probably going to be like an old Corolla or something out there. I go out and I guess it's just this Toyota Corolla. It's 97. Who cares? He's like, nope, guess again. And okay, it's this Cadillac, this 80s Cadillac that's kind of cool. He's like, no. And meanwhile, there's a tow truck sitting in the middle of the street with the hazards on. And he drives the tow truck. And he just pulls up where he wants and throws on the hazards and drives the tow truck around. Yeah.
That's what it's like to be a Kennedy kid.
And being a Kennedy, like all of the Kennedys, the curse, they say part of the curse is the death wish. And he told a story about going down to like Nicaragua or somewhere and buying an old Land Cruiser and not shipping it back. He's got all the money in the world, but him and his buddy just driving it back. And like knowing the fork in the road, if we go that way, we're probably safe. If we go that way, it's nothing but corrupt state police and cartel. So of course they went that way. Drove all the way back to California, just like tempting fate.
Finding yourself in Nicaragua with a man who does not care if he lives or dies, frankly, prays for the other one.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's scary.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, I've been hammered with kick a few times.
That's so great.
Where do they grow up? I would figure East Coast.
I think
just move.
I think they did. I think they are East Coast. I think my buddy knows them from like Eastern Shore of Maryland, I believe. But
so did Kick ever mention the whale thing to you?
no, it was before that. But I met Cheryl Hines, my buddy who directed some Son of Stam videos, directed a thing about Hunter S. Thompson that she stars in because that family funded that movie. So there's a movie about Hunter S. Thompson running for mayor of Aspen or Vale, wherever he did that, and she stars, and it was like that family kind of funded my buddy's movie, which is pretty cool. The parts of it I've seen. I did some of the music for it.
Oh, tight.
There's like some drum solos.
Nice.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Jake.
No, I think that's
warranted.
Yeah. I don't know. That might be bigger than the Beatles drummer's drummer.
Knowing the Kennedys?
Ben Trump with Kick?
Yeah.
I mean, certainly. I think before you'd have needed. Not everyone would. Kick wasn't on the lips of the world until now, but
in my world today,
no bigger name.
It's only recently that you found out I was a part of Camelot.
That's true. So the story is somebody dug up. Well, here's the reason why. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are apparently done.
No!
And Ben Affleck is hanging out with Kick Kennedy. How old would you say? Your age?
No, I think Kick's probably like 36, a little bit younger than me. I don't know. Between 35 and 40, maybe, is my guess.
Ben Affleck, 52. That's not insane.
How old is she?
It's not great. It doesn't say.
If you're 52 and you're Ben Affleck.
Wait, she was 24. She's 36.
Okay.
Because it says the interview was 2012, 24.
Yeah, if you're 52-year-old Ben Affleck, the most responsible you could possibly be is
36.
Dating 36.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the max.
So, because apparently Ben Affleck is hanging out with her, people are now digging up information.
Also, I do strongly believe that there can be no inappropriate age gaps at 36. If you're 36 and you're not like handicapped or something, like no one's tricking you into that. You know what I mean?
I would agree, unless you're on the top side of it.
What do you mean?
Like 36 and 17 is still not cool.
Yeah, yes. Strongly agree with that.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with 36.
But like, if you're like dating an 80-year-old and you're 36, it's not like the 80-year-old tricked you.
Sure.
Like,
so people are digging up information, interviews that she's
bumping.
done, and one of the ones that she's done, she talks about how her dad, which we know he's super stoked on the environment in weird ways, she recounted a tale from a childhood vacation where her dad, who has a thing for animal skulls and skeletons, took her down to the beach with a chainsaw to retrieve the head of a dead beached whale. They bungee corded the head to the roof of the family minivan for the 5-hour haul back home. Yeah, that's when you needed it.
They drove with a beached whale skull in their minivan?
Yes. She said, quote, every time we accelerated on the
skull
highway...
would be so much better.
It's not skull. It's the whole head. They chainsawed it off. Every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car. And it was the rankest thing on the planet. We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out, and people on the highway were giving us the finger, but that was just normal day-to-day stuff for us.
Okay. Sorry.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
How is she related to
She's his son.
Bear Man?
Daughter.
Oh, excuse me, daughter, yeah.
Daughter.
And that's the bear guy?
Yeah, she's the daughter of the bear guy.
What's her
Daughter
deal
of the next vice president of the United States of America. Come on.
I have to say, like, it's the most
He's
insane
stoked on
thing.
animals.
But like the joke you just made, like, whenever you hear this, the bear thing was previously just unimaginable.
Yeah.
But against the backdrop of this, you're like, oh, okay. I really kind of drop all my questions about the bear thing. It probably happened exactly as he said. He apparently just does this shit
all the time. Yeah. It could be, there could be, I mean, it's like whenever you find out about a musician, and certainly, Jordan, you live in this world. It drives me crazy when I see people recording an album that never comes out.
Sure.
Or I'll see people that I really like jamming together or something, and I'm like, man, that looks fucking sick. And then it just never comes out. And I just, always my brain, I'm like, it's like if I lost something in my house and can't find it. I'm like, I want to hear that. I need to hear it. I know it exists. That's how I feel about the 200 other RFK animal stories.
Yeah.
They're so there.
They're there. I know they're there.
He probably did one this month.
Yeah, and like, there's really no reason now for him not to tell us because there's no chance you can think he gets weirder.
Yeah.
He documented 40 occasions of cheating on his pregnant wife in 1 year, and then she hung herself.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that could be weirder about this guy.
Yeah.
So just tell us now. Just have the highest rated television show of all time.
But Peepaw likes him better than J.D. Vance, so this could get interesting.
You think they booed him? That'd be awesome. Just a late turn.
I'm hearing that. Those are the... It's the rumor mill
It's
inside
been
the
an
Beltway.
unprecedented election season. I think that you should be prepared for anything.
MIA threw her support behind Donald Trump.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys cover the donuts last week? When did
No,
the
we didn't
donut
really
video
talk about
come
it.
out?
No, but yeah.
That's an
it's
amazing piece of American history.
Just sprinkle or whatever works. Whatever makes sense.
Yeah, whatever makes sense.
To walk up to a donut counter.
Whatever makes sense.
Say, I don't know, just give me whatever makes sense. It's also, like, that's something I would have to say at like a fancy restaurant where I don't understand the menu.
Yeah. Like, you look at J.D. Vance's head shape.
I don't speak fucking
like,
French.
This guy
Just give me
knows his
some
way.
donuts.
This guy knows his way around a donut shop. He just doesn't know
Everyone
what to
does.
do. Right.
I mean, I
12
do
sausage
identify
rolls.
with that some. Like, whenever you're ordering a dozen donuts, do you want to say 12 different kinds of donuts do you want? Or could you just be like, you know what's back there. Give me some of those.
But whatever
I got an order.
Give me whatever makes sense.
That doesn't work. That
It's just
doesn't work at all.
There's so many fun parts of it, but the small thing of the woman clearly being so uncomfortable. Hi, I'm J.D. Vance. I'm running for vice president. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she just doesn't want to be there, so he's like, all right, cut her out of the video. I'm like, I'm watching the video. I can see her. She's right there. Like,
start over.
Nothing has been protected.
You know what? Let's make that pretty much the news today, Blake, because
The
that
Dumb Zone
Kick Kennedy
News.
story was pretty
Like
solid.
and subscribe.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
What did he do with the whalehead?
It doesn't say.
Yeah,
Jordan
no,
will
I know.
have to
But
ask for us.
so what could you
I think
do?
you probably want to. You want the skull, and you want to hang it up.
Which is illegal to have. Well, clearly he doesn't care.
What if he stuffed it?
His son owns a tow truck and drives it
Yeah.
as a Camry.
Whenever Machine was Norm's intern, it was Machine, right? Norm made him clean off a piranha skeleton.
What?
I wonder.
Vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I wonder who RFK's Machine was at the time.
Well, today is Monday, August 26th, the 239th day of 2024. In 1961, the original Hockey Hall of Fame was opened in Toronto.
Oh, okay. It used to be somewhere cool.
The editor's note here says, this just 2 days after the adjacent opening of Forever 21 and Auntie Anne's Pretzels.
Nice.
But that's not the one in Toronto, though. Why'd they move it then? Why would you have it in
Big
Toronto
city.
and move it to a mall in Minneapolis?
No, it's a mall in Toronto.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just confusing it with the Mall of America.
Could be confusing it with the Bowling Hall of Fame in Arlington.
Yeah, it's probably where
Yeah, next to the
My bad.
Medal of Honor Museum.
Yeah, and Fuddruckers.
In 1985, 13-year-old AIDS patient Ryan White began attending classes at Western Middle School in Indiana via a telephone hookup at his home. School officials had barred Ryan from attending classes in person. He's got AIDS.
Transfusion.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, he's got it. We need to keep him away.
I wonder if his parents made bank.
Like at this point,
I bet it's a sad story.
You bet they didn't come out.
I don't think they made bank.
Yeah, you're
off of
probably right.
what? Him having AIDS?
No, I mean the hospital gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, there is some possible.
Yeah. I hope they did that.
What did you guys think I meant? Like, how would
Donations,
book deals,
suing the school district.
Book deal gone wrong. Made for TV movie only paid him about $50K.
I think Baby Jessica did get a huge amount of money.
She did.
Yeah.
It's gone, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it went to
car washes.
She's like small town hot,
car
right?
washes?
Something like that. Yeah.
I thought it was like missionary work. Like she's from an extremely religious family, right?
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, I think that.
Did anyone answer Jorts' question?
Just went to the church.
Small town hot.
Was Baby Jessica hot?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel comfortable.
I mean,
I don't know the answer, but I don't feel comfortable with the question.
We're about the same age, so we can do that thing.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. The only time you're allowed to find a 6-year-old hot is when you're also 6.
When she grew up. Gross.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Hillary Duff was hot growing up, but we were both underage. Feels fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In 1992, in the first matchup of NL knuckleballers in 10 years, Pittsburgh's Tim Wakefield outduels Tom Candiotti of the Dodgers.
Baby Jessica, not hot at all.
The last time knuckleballs floated to batters on both teams came when Phil and Joe Niekro squared off in 1982 in the Niekro Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it was called.
In 2002, the first video streaming coverage of a Major League Baseball game takes place on the internet.
Wow.
Apparently 30,000 fans visit MLB.com to see the Yankees defeat the Rangers 10-3. Who would have knew?
I vaguely
another L.
remember that.
Another historical L for the Rangers.
Yeah.
I didn't have internet access at that time. That one kind of passed me by.
In 2016, Colin Kaepernick remained seated on the team's bench rather than standing for the national anthem before the Niners played host to the Green Bay Packers.
That wasn't that big of a deal, though.
Well, actually, it wasn't.
The break makes sense.
It actually wasn't, because this is when he just sat there.
Yeah.
And then Nate Boyer, I'm pretty sure it was Nate Boyer.
Yes.
Told him to
Green
kneel.
Beret.
Green Beret and Texas Longhorn.
He said, you know what would really make it so that no one's upset? Just take a polite, respectful knee.
Jesus, Nate, where were you on that one?
Birthdays today, former Ranger Elvis Andrus is 36.
It's a good White Sox. Is he still with the White Sox?
I think he's retired.
I think a lot of their current players are retired.
Hey.
He is 36. Is his WAR above or below 36?
Ooh.
Above.
That's a new spin on War Games. I'm going to go below.
I'll say above. I bet he's racking him up with the defense early in the career.
Oh, that's true.
Elvis, age 36, WAR 34.
Yes.
Wow, right there.
Today's War Game winner is David Price, who turns 39 today. His career WAR 40.2.
And a really magical run with the Red Sox. I never thought it was going to happen for him. He was developing a terrible reputation as a postseason pitcher before that. And you got to hand it to him. He came through in a big way.
Was he the pitcher that could not make a start due to carpal tunnel from playing Call of Duty?
Yes.
That's him?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty late in his career.
Yes.
Jake, Jamal Lewis is 45.
Ooh.
I just picture you as a big Jamal Lewis guy.
Yeah,
He better be.
Very dominant Madden player.
He was.
Oh yeah, he was a 99 for sure. James Harden is 30.
It was Fortnite, by the way. That's how
was it
recent
Fortnite?
was. Yeah.
I thought it was Warzone for some reason.
James
Harden is 35. Stan Van Gundy is 65.
This shit is magic. Stan Van Gundy.
I don't know why, but
build a fucking wall.
You ever seen that clip?
No.
No.
I didn't know he weighed in.
Solid.
Actor Chris Burke is 59. Dan wants to know if he's a good actor if he can only play one role.
This is just my favorite. The visual helps a little bit, but it's just Stan Van Gundy.
No, I am disappointed.
Okay. Is that you or me?
I understand.
Okay, fuck me. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
You're just
what's
gonna
playing.
punt?
Oh, here we go. No, I got it. This is Stan Van Gundy in a huddle, and it's just because I like listening to Stan Van Gundy because when he talks, it sounds like he's yelling. So when he yells, it's extra funny.
I
don't know why I say that to myself all the time.
We just form a fucking wall.
Melissa McCarthy is 54.
Okay.
Back up on the show.
Yeah, starring in the next Fight Club.
I made that up, but I'm sure she will
No, I
be.
think you're going to be spot
I
on.
saw that, of course, like
Florence Pugh. That it's automatically my favorite movie of all time. If Florence Pugh is Tyler Durden, we're done.
You guys ever have that thing where you walk through a room and it's just got the Gilmore Girls playing?
Yes. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You're like, Melissa McCarthy was in all those episodes.
Yeah.
Your top two for the lead right now, and maybe they'll both be in it, are... Anybody want to guess? Real guesses?
Florence Pugh.
For Fight Club?
Is an actual guess.
No.
Sydney Sweeney.
That's a good guess.
Margot Robbie and Charlize Theron.
Of course.
Margot Robbie was
Damn,
Charlize.
Margot Robbie was... Yeah, damn. Macaulay Culkin is 44. Chris Pine is 44.
Am I going to go see this dumb piece of shit?
Probably will.
Yeah,
we're
probably.
going.
Which Chris is he?
Gonna do 3
already.
hours on it, TC.
Yeah, I can feel that in me.
Chris Pine, 44.
He's the Star Trek Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Mulaney is 42.
Really funny, but seemingly kind of a shitty guy. Not just because he's an addict.
I couldn't
doesn't
love him
make
more.
you a shitty guy.
I think he's great. I think he's perfect. I know I'm the only one in this group that feels that way, but
yeah,
I like his stuff.
He
as
loves
much
Steely
as I like
Dan,
anything.
so he gets a pass.
The Everybody's in LA.
I'm not saying that
was
he's
such a good show.
Not super talented. I just he's get some.
That show was good because of the great Richard Kind.
Richard Kind obviously elevated it so much. I know that you're not a big Mulaney guy, Jorts, but I really think if you watch the first monologue, just as someone who lived in Los Angeles previously,
I was interested in stopping on that show.
I think you'd like it. The big joke is, you show up here and you just think, no mayor, right? And it's doing good for no mayor, but no mayor.
All right, Jordan, musician birthdays.
Okay.
Shirley Manson is 58.
Garbage.
Dan Vickery is 58.
Kansas.
Yeah, it's Counting Crows.
Okay.
Adrian Young is 55.
Drummer for No Doubt.
Yep. Yeah, nailed him. All right, born on this day, now dead.
Okay.
These are the strong women of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Born on this day, now dead. Mother Teresa.
That's a great one. She's very strong.
Don't think so.
Not a woman?
Catholic Kempspin.
She was a soul stealer. Like when people were infirm and they had not decided to give her their life to her, she would kind of either infirm or like they didn't know what was going on, you know? She would come by and make them recite stuff. And they'd be like, clock that one. That one's on my board.
So your big Kempspin on her is she tried too hard to get people into heaven? What
Yeah,
are you doing,
I
dude?
believe that much like with sexual intercourse, consent should be given before someone decides to start performing their spell on you.
I'm with the ACLU over here, man.
We're not.
So
it's not spells.
They get to heaven. They're at the pearly
There's
gates.
no
and
bad
like,
way
I
to
just-
get to heaven.
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. They're like, oh god, they made me go into
Kind of
heaven.
looking forward to hell.
This was terrible.
I would actually be mad.
Well, I hope you are mad. I hope you're mad the whole time.
Well, they'd probably kick me out.
If I have anything to say about it, and given how good of a job I'm doing here, I probably will.
Geraldine Ferraro died at 76.
That's probably a good Catholic.
She also, I believe, was like She was like withholding painkillers from people.
Geraldine Ferraro?
Are you going to Kemp spin all of these strong women of the day?
Well, she was trying to get them to be lucid so that she wouldn't have people like you objecting.
No, she was trying to
put
get
her
them
put her in an impossible to win
as close
situation.
to death as possible.
Katherine Johnson, a NASA mathematician portrayed in the movie Hidden Figures, died at 102.
Wow. What a life.
And then finally, Naomi Fraley, the inspiration for the World War II Rosie the Riveter poster.
Oh.
Who I think...
doubt.
He's created a lot of great Halloween costumes over the
day.
years.
What's her name?
Naomi Fraley.
I want to
Hot name.
We can. Does she?
Yeah, Naomi back in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead on this day, still dead. Charles Lindbergh.
Died from grief because of his baby.
That's a really
very
good...
interesting life. You know, Skillman used to be called Lindbergh, and then he got too happy about the Nazis. That's true.
It's a really good chapter in the Bill James popular crime book.
Oh, it's so good.
Dead on this day, 1979, Erin Simpson. OJ's daughter who drowned at 23 months old.
I forgot about that.
In 2020, Joe Ruby, the co-creator of Scooby-Doo. And finally, a year ago, on this day, Bob Barker.
Ouch.
Will we get a hologram?
He just whips Happy Gilmore's ass.
And
He'll be in Fight Club 2.
in history.
All right, what do you guys got? What's the website again?
For the show Friday, Quaker City Nighthawks at Tulips in Fort Worth.
Just figure it out. You know how to Google.
Head over to qcnh.com. You can find everything you need there. I'm trying to decide what Fight Club 2 might be called. Women who fight.
For me to say,
It depends on whether or not it has to sound like Fight Club.
It's probably just going to be Fight Club.
Cat Fight Club.
Yeah, you could just call it Fight Club. Are we going to promote it?
Rule number one
our
of
show?
Fight Club.
The Dirtbag Culture Hour will be returning
Woo!
as a podcast.
We couldn't be more excited.
These two are going to get back at it.
It's so exciting.
Back
Do you have
at
a
it.
name? No Puppet Productions? What's your...
Yeah, we do. That's the name.
That's the name?
Yeah.
Okay. We're No Puppet Production. I mean, I knew, I thought I could have been more dismissive by saying I didn't have a guess.
Yeah.
I was trying to be as little dismissive as
We'll have you
possible.
guys on again whenever it's like go time. Probably
Yeah,
downtown. But sometime in the next week or so.
Very excited.
Yeah.
I've just been discussing with TC. I got to ramp up my energy for all things
weirdo.
Yeah, weirdo. Popular culture mostly.
Please tell me, please. Is there
Is
just a 5% chance we could book Kick?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What if we talk to Kick?
That's a great hook right there.
Yeah, I think there's most certainly a 5% chance that we can do that.
90% chance we could talk to Kilby.
Yeah.
Ask him
He's
about
good.
whale juice.
We will ask about whale juice.
So when that comes down, we'll obviously promote. We'll get you the links. We'll tell you where to find it. And then, go see Quaker City on Friday. That's all I got.
Okay.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my video.